and used cars, like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage, as low as $127 per paycheck, 0 down. Or this 2021 Buick Encore, as low as $237 per paycheck, 0 down for 72 months. Call 478-AUTO to schedule a test drive or get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com.
A monster storm remains out at sea, but is prompting some rip current concerns for North America as another storm trails behind.
Hurricane Sam remains a major hurricane and will stay that way as it continues north through the mid-Atlantic. It will pass east of Bermuda, though that island is on alert for tropical impacts. The U.S. Atlantic coast, however, will see some potential dangerous sea swells due to Sam. Tropical storm Victor in the eastern Atlantic is not expected to gain much strength and will stay largely in open waters. Eben Brown, Fox News.
New York's vaccine mandate for healthcare workers is on hold again for anyone claiming religious exemptions. An appeals court just granting an injunction ahead of a hearing that's now scheduled in 2 weeks. The human brain apparently knows the difference between artificial sweeteners and the real thing, which could lead to some unwelcome effects on appetite.
Dr. Katie Page tweeting, "Our new study suggests that the appetite effects of artificial sweeteners versus real sugar may depend on biological factors, as women and people with obesity showed greater hunger-related responses." The new study, led by the University of Southern California's School of Medicine, revealed there was increased activity in regions of the brain responsible for food cravings and appetite after women and obese people consumed sucralose-containing drinks compared to drinks containing real sugar. Monica DeLuca, Fox News.
A not-so-sweet end to September on Wall Street. The Dow down 546 points at the close. The S&P also falling over 1% today, blamed at least in part on the ongoing debates in Washington. For the S&P, it's a nearly 5% drop in September, the first monthly loss since January. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Hoffaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Do you have a pain or loss of function in your hand or upper extremity? Then have Dr. Jerome Landstrom, a board-certified hand surgeon and combat veteran with over 25 years in experience in diagnosing and treating upper extremity and hand problems. He'll provide care to you and your loved ones so you and your loved ones can take care of yourselves and others. Call 671-646-HAND for an appointment and visit his website at www.pacifichandsurgery.com.
Hey, Jack. Is it true Jack in the Box has breakfast all day?
That's why we call it all-day breakfast.
And all night?
Yep.
Early evenings?
You're so close to getting it. All-day breakfast with freshly cracked eggs. Only at Jack in the Box.
Leah Dunca from Security Title here with a little information about trusts. A trust is a legal entity capable of owning property. It can protect property from issues such as lawsuits or divorce and can be used to distribute property and avoid probate. Many trusts start as revocable but become irrevocable when the initial trustees die. Work with your estate planning attorney to see if a trust is a good fit for your family property. Call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Off a day at 6:06. I'm Ana Silva Tyron with a look at your local news on this Friday morning. There were reportedly a number of factors that resulted in hundreds of war claims being denied, but according to the Guam Daily Post, many were denied because the war survivors had died prior to the enactment of the reparations law in December of 2016. The Post reports that nearly 600 of Guam's approximately 4,000 World War II claims were denied. That remains there does remain some claims, though, still going through adjudication and have yet to receive a final decision. Now, the Foreign Claims Settlement Commission only recently made public their decision, although it was rendered on July 21st. Many of the claims were filed by descendants, and many also couldn't provide sufficient evidence proving that they suffered injury that is eligible for compensation under the 2016 law. Others were denied for a lack of signature or for failure to respond to requests for further information about their claims. The decision coincidentally came while senators of the Guam legislature were weighing a local bill that would create a local compensation program for those who didn't meet the eligibility requirement of the 2016 federal law. The program is estimated to cost less than $10 million. The governor suggested using Section 30 funding, the same source that is used to pay for the war claims under the World War II Loyalty Recognition Act. A federal court judge has denied a request by the former Gura attorney to dismiss his fraud case, and so charges against attorney Mark Smith will proceed. Smith is a former attorney for the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority. He faces charges of wire fraud and money laundering in connection with rental payments that he received under the Section 8 housing program. In that, he's accused of receiving housing payments through a co-defendant who has since died. There was a conflict of interest, though, because Smith was working as a Gura legal counsel. Smith is further alleged to have used his friend to conceal ownership of the rental properties being rented under Section 8. Jury selection and trial for Smith is scheduled to begin on October 19th. We'll have more news right after this.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Two boaters are safe this morning after their boat capsized last night at the boat basin. Rescue units were called to the report of a couple of distressed swimmers, about 7 last night. They were able to pull one man out of the water while the other one was able to swim ashore. The two were on a fishing boat that capsized. Now, one of the men suffered exhaustion and had minor injuries. He was taken to GMH. There was another COVID-related fatality that was reported last night, marking the 197th. The 76-year-old man was said to have been fully vaccinated but did have underlying health conditions. There remains 58 people in the hospital, 14 in ICU, with 8 of them on ventilators. Meanwhile, the JIC report also says there are 144 new cases of COVID out of 1,295 people were tested on Wednesday. There's also some relief being reported. Nurses from the Army Reserve are coming out to spend the next 30 days to support the Guam Memorial Hospital. 15 nurses will be working to support critical patient care, in particular in the emergency room and in the ICU. They are scheduled to work with GMH at least until the end of October. And booster shots now available at vaccination clinics offering the Pfizer vaccine to those who are 65 and up, people with underlying health conditions, and those working in the healthcare industry and frontline workers. There's a list of them to include teachers, law enforcement workers, daycare employees, and food and agriculture workers, and those working in manufacturing, UPS workers, corrections workers, and public transit, as well as those working in grocery stores. Those who are eligible are asked to make an appointment with Eventbrite. Walk-ins are being accepted, though. And those are your top stories here on The Point. And here's Ray with your weather.
Okay. Sorry, there was a very interesting story about extinct species.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a whole list. The 23 species, 19 states, including Guam,
really?
have been lost to extinction. Now they're making a final ruling on a couple of things here, and I thought it was very interesting. And I'll spell it out for you. Okay. I'll spell it out. Extinction, like the Lulian Guerrero's political career. Hey. Too early for that nonsense. Yeah, never too early for that. All right. You want to restart the music, Real Joe? No, you don't, do you? just let it run, huh? Gotcha. High surf advisory is in effect until noon. Sunday along west and north facing reefs. High risk of rip currents through Sunday morning along west and north facing reefs as well. And don't forget box jellyfish. They're supposed to be floating around here over the next couple of days, so just be wary of that. Partly cloudy skies today. Isolated showers this morning, then mostly cloudy. Scattered showers this afternoon. Some isolated thunderstorms in the forecast as well. East winds up to about 10 miles an hour. Daytime highs today should be about 86 degrees. degrees. Now, hold on a second. Let me get this up on the screen. Get a better idea of why we've got the weather that we're going to be having these days. And almost to the north, way up there, north is this Minduli. Now, it's been downgraded, but it's still a feature in the Asia hood here, so that's going to be drawing some weather towards it. And then there's a little bit of that chop that was coming in from the Marshalls that looks like it's making its way up here these days. So expect some partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered showers and isolated showers as we make our way into the weekend. Heat index today about 98 degrees. Sunrise this morning at 6:10. Sunset tonight is going to be at 6:10 as well. The day is going to be about exactly as long from the sunrise to sunset, 6:10 to 6:10. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Does that mean we've hit something? Is this a solstice thing?
Yeah, it's the first of the month,
Are we
man.
supposed to get a happy new fiscal year? We got a new fiscal year on top of it. So is it so sunrise is 6:10, Sunday is at 6:10. Does that mean we go to the crystal place? Are we all going to make our way to and get some crystals and charge them up? Happy new fiscal year crystals. Yeah. It's like that. 6:13 in the morning. All right, Ray Gibson Show continues. The news and weather together brought to you by Bank Pacific. Banking on the Pacific for 67 years.
Choosing health insurance for my family is difficult. I need to know our health insurance will protect us now and in the future. Take Care members have access to the island's largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs, and a high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers, including the convenient one-stop FHP Health Center and urgent care. My family choose Take Care. Your family should also consider choosing Take Care. Call 671-647-3526 for more information. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
Hafude, konnichiwa,
Patois. Ciao. Enter for a chance to win the 76 Circle K World Cuisine Giveaway. Be one of 3 lucky winners to win a passport of free food from around the world at over 15 different local restaurants. Just stop by any 76 Circle K, purchase $35 or more in fuel to get an entry form. Drive by today and taste the world with 76 Circle K's World Cuisine Giveaway. Visit 76circlekguam.com for more details. Some conditions apply. Circle K, take it easy.
Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL American President Lines, global presence with a local home. And also being brought to you by the team over at Nissan, and they have got a brand new ride for you. In fact, it's not even here. How new is it? We don't even have them yet. Sometime this week, there will be a ship pulling into harbor, and it will be loaded with your brand new Nissan Frontier. The 2022 is on its way to Guam. A lot of people have already made their reservations on this ride. You need to do the same thing if you are on the lookout for a mid-sized truck. And I know a lot of people that are, right? I know a lot of people that are. They got these trucks as big as what we used to call school buses back in the day, and you're thinking, yeah, that's a lot more than I need. I need something to get point A to point B. It's got some good towing and real cool technology on the inside. I don't need all that, and I don't want to pay for all that. And you're not going to with the 2022 Nissan Frontier. Apple CarPlay in the front, best in class horsepower, 310 horses under the hood. How they fit, I don't know. That's a genius Japanese Nissan thing. Find out about the technology. Get a test drive as soon as they're in at NissanGuam.com today.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Getting to it. Don't rush me. Got this 4-hour-long program here, and there's a lot to talk about. May or may not be true, but there's. I'm trying to make it so that there is a lot to talk about here. Welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. No, you can't see me on screen right now. We've got the Welcome to October, Welcome to the New Fiscal Year picture from Sarita Garan, the eastern side of the island. I've got some shots from Jeff's place that I'll get to in just a little bit. You can start to see the pink making its way up over the sky. Real nice. Oh, look at that view there. ITC building. all lit up there in the red, white, and boom, and we got the moon making its way up over the sky. And just some great morning shots here from Sarita Garin, who apparently has got the same sleeping issues that most of the rest of us have. You know, just
good morning.
Get to a certain point and just can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Might as well go make coffee and go outside and take pictures of stuff. So we've even got video here of what we got going on, and I think Jeff is already awake as well over at Pirates Cove. So let me see if I can get some of his pictures up on the screen. Golden morning coming up over the eastern side of the island. That's nice, some great colors. And if the rest of the weekend feels as good as these look, then I think we're going to be okay. 888-8255 888-TALK. That's the telephone number that you call when you want to go on the radio with me. If there's something big going on in your life, and you are so moved with emotion and passion about it that you're willing to call, go ahead and use that number. There might be a couple of people later on calling in about you know what we got to do. You know what we got to do, Ray? We got to go to that protest today. There's going to be a protest this afternoon, 4:00 over at the Micronesia Mall. Because the traffic at about 4:00 in the afternoon on a Friday moves about 2 miles an hour. So I think that's going to be rich for a lot of people as they make their way through that and see some of the folks that have got questions and comments and passions, if you will, about what's going on with the pandemic. And I got a bunch of thoughts on that as well. So we'll play around with some of those a little bit later on. In the meantime, in the meantime, it's the Ray Gibson Show, and can I tell you what I did last night?
Of course, yes, it's your show.
Thank you. So last night I was craving Korean chicken wings.
Ow!
I didn't go anywhere for Korean chicken wings. I'm lazy. So I got the flavor in mind. I'm thinking, okay, I want Korean chicken wings, and I said, hey, well, there's a KFC up the street. So I went up to the KFC up the street and got some chicken wings from there, and I got me some cold American adult beverages and drove down to Ray, which is one of my favorite spots. Now, this is what's on screen right now. This is sunset at Teray last night, and you might be going, that's not Teray. That's not sunset or Teray. The coconut trees facing in the opposite direction. Ladies and gentlemen, the best view of the sunset isn't always when the sun goes down into the water. That was kind of listless. But the view over towards the hospital point and that around Jonestown, if Uncle Robert still lets it be called Jonestown, was that I thought was more stupendous. Now, one of the other things, and I thought this is going to be cool, Sky had chicken wings, and I'm down there, and I always, whenever I'm there, I always feel bad because they've got these cats roaming around. I always feel like I should bring something, so I can feed the cat some morsels and things like that. So this cat here has got a couple of unique features. Number one, it's a redhead, and number two, it's, as Mana says, Keaton. It's a
Keaton cat, Axl Rose.
It's a cross-eyed cat, and so if you're looking at the pictures, the red cat, one of the red Teray cats that's down there, and so I'm eating my chicken bones and I'm throwing them at the cat, and I'm eating the chicken bones and I'm throwing, and he just kind of lets them pile up. And I'm going, what the hell? What is this? You would think that the cats would be just going crazy. They would be
it looks
coming
good
to
healthy.
me.
That's a healthy cat.
Coming to me like I'm Saint Anthony, with the animals all around me. And then it occurred to me, wait a second, this cat lives at Teray. It probably gets a whole lot of leftovers. And I'm going, oh, you're going to hit me with chicken bones? Is that what you're getting me with? Okay, yeah, maybe not. Finally started to nibble on it. But the other thing is also quite accustomed to being around human beings. And I thought that was pretty cool. So nice sunset, got to hang out with the animals. And somebody on Facebook said, oh, Ray, is that your new kitty cat? And the answer is, oh, hell no. No. You don't. Number one, a feral cat that age, probably not going to be good inside the house.
Yeah.
That's just walking around marking everything and
kill you, bro, in the middle of the night.
Might kill me in my sleep.
Yes.
Exactly. So you got to be careful with older cats like that. And something that people find out about me, and I think they're a little bit amazed with this. I do not pick up every stray that I see. Now, it might work in, at point of bachelorhood, but not necessarily animals. They're like, oh, it's so cute. You should take it home. If I took every cute cat home, I wouldn't have anywhere to live. Anyway, 21 after 6 o'clock in the morning, and a bunch of other stuff on the table of contents that we'll get around to talking about, including some oddly timed stories floating around on the internet. This one here shows up in my deal, and it talks about how you are going to top 5 tips to make the most of your vacation in Guam.
Oh, nice.
What? And I'm looking at the thing, and it's last updated 33 minutes ago. It's in a website called Travel Off Path, and it talks about places to stay: the Hilton, the PIC, maybe a bubble dome bed in a tiny house in a seaside apartment, glamping, and where you can go eat and things to see and all these things to do. And I'm going, wait a second, I think half of these places are closed for business. I don't know what you people are talking about. Dolphin cruises, riverboat cruises, kayaking and paddle boarding and all of that stuff. Even talks about for the full luxury experience, spoil yourself with the Pickup by BMW service at the Tumon Sands Plaza, where you'll find the Louis Vuitton Global Store, flagship stores for Tiffany and Company, Gucci, Chloe, and many more. Now, it's been a while since I've been doing the shopping around over at the Tumon Sands. Is there still a LV, Tiffany, Gucci? Tiffany closed, didn't it?
I don't know.
Gucci,
yeah, no more.
Chloe, and so I'm wondering a little bit of stale.
LV's open though.
I mean, I'm happy to have these guys.
Sorry, I'm not the shopper.
I'm happy to have these guys.
Joe is the shopper.
Crowing about coming to Guam and hanging out at our luxurious places and eating at the Hotnu, as long as they're open for business, because there doesn't seem to be a whole lot by way of tourists that are going to be coming to Guam for any reason for any amount of time. It's another one of those doom and gloom stories in the newspaper that talks about just how lousy the numbers are going to be in this new fiscal year. But it's Friday, and we don't frowny face on Friday. And today's a good day for boys, heterosexual males, to wear pink shirts.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just do it. Just go with that feeling, I'm telling you. So what am I supposed to do now? Did I already introduce you?
Yeah,
That's
no,
real
maybe.
Joe. He gets the phone, you call it 888-8255, 888-TALK. The meme machine is online and working. I already showed you those things. And then Mona Silva Tyron, who, thank God, is back here doing the news.
Lord, thank you, Jesus.
It was bad, wasn't it? Couldn't take your eyes off
No, it wasn't
Just
bad.
go twice an hour. There's going to be this incredible disaster
You did well.
that they're going to call
You
news.
did.
I was watching
stepped
from
up,
where
man.
I was at.
I was proud of you.
I stepped up.
Yeah.
I was looking down on you with pride.
He can do it. He can read the news. Now, normally, in
You read the news and watched Joe. You were reading directly at Joe, because I even texted Joe.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Oh, he was holding himself back from riffing. He wanted to go off,
that was the thing. So I
dissect the news.
You had your own little audience.
I cannot.
Proud of you.
I cannot pick up a script from anywhere and just read it straight. I can't do it. We got
And all of it taken from the Guam Daily Post, I presume.
well, there's a Post and a PDN. There was a point
guys.
later in the program when I got bored with those stories and then started riffing on some of the stuff that comes out of KUAM and PNC. Guam receives $2.1 million in DOI funding for emergency projects. The U.S. Department of the Interior has awarded Guam $2,196,000 in FY21 grant funding. Blah 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 blah. See, I wanted to read it like that, and then go through all of this and see, okay, well, any of this make any difference to me? $1.2 million to the GPA for energy updates at the University of Guam. $475,000 to the GCC for a 100-kilowatt solar PV system. $275,000 for the University of Guam for the Guam Strategy, Energy, and Action Plan. A report no one will ever read. $154,000 to the Guam Power Authority for LED lighting upgrades at the Tumuning Elementary School. Okay, here's what I want you guys to do. Tumuning Elementary, is that the Whales? Is that school home of the Whales?
No.
Lana, do you know?
The Dolphin?
Is it?
Annie, it doesn't make any difference. I'm just I'm having fun here.
I think they're Dolphin.
Whoever the principal is,
someone's screaming right now.
You're about to get $155,000 for LED lighting upgrades. Okay, this is what I want.
Wow!
I want you to get the kind. I got a couple of neighbors that have this. Not my next door neighbor, Teddy. It's not you. But I got a couple of neighbors that really gone heavy in these LED lights. And I swear to God, and they're pointed at your window. You can't sleep at night because they're just oh my God, bright.
Psychological warfare.
That's what we got to be able to do.
We did that too, and now I have to set them on timers.
I think they want you to move, bro.
So here's the
Somebody made a comment that we look like a runway, but
Right. And not too far away from the real runway. Anyway, 6:26 in the morning.
Hey, did you see over 160 Oahu businesses violate the COVID-19 mandates in Hawaii?
Did they?
Yeah.
They're defying?
They are defying.
Good.
I'll send you the story.
Send me that story. I'm going to be amused here. We just brought in a whole bunch of Department of Defense nurses. Did you hear about that story? It was
Yes, I
in the
did.
thing yesterday. And I know some of you are going, hey, got some nurses in town. Yeah, I got the pictures. First of all, everybody is wearing masks. Second of all, there's a whole lot of guy nurses in here. Where's the fun in that?
Oh, yeah.
It's guy nurses. And, I'm looking at
yeah, that guy works out. Hey.
It might be a girl. They're all wearing the same BDU.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to tell. It's got these sexless uniforms or genderless uniforms that they've got in the military. So I don't know. Might be a good Jimmy D's day. Might not be a good Jimmy D's day. But here's the thing. Maybe we waited. Maybe we got these guys a little bit early here, because the thing is, they in New York City, they, I think, just fired hundreds, maybe in the thousands of nurses and other healthcare professionals for not getting vaccinated. And they said, well, you cannot work here anymore. And it occurs to me that, and this is true. Those of you with longer memories might recall this. It was in the early 2000s, and New York was having a kind of a problem with nurses, and a lot of the big East Coast hospitals were having problems with nurses, and they were hiring nurses from all over the place, including a buttload of nurses from Guam.
Oh.
Because, yeah, I know. Well, I mean, because, you work at Guam Memorial Hospital, and you've got skills. You've worked under duress. You've got because of the pressures of working in an underfunded, understaffed hospital with not a lot of the resources. Can you imagine how much better you'd do in a big city hospital somewhere in the States? And a lot of nurses from here, Filipinas, Chamorro women that had gone through the nursing program up and took off and went to go and live there. So I'm wondering how many of them might be part of this unvaccinated cadre of healthcare professionals in New York City and other places where they were held hostage by their vaccination status, held to their guns, and are now terminated. And the question that I've got is, how fast can we get them back to Guam to do work over at Guam Memorial Hospital, GRMC, Navy Hospital, the variety of clinics? The smart guys, I think, will be looking off in that direction to see if we can repatriate some of those folks. Did I say repatriate in a weird? Did I weird sound? I'm actively air checking myself as I speak. Did that sound weird when I said it? Repatriate out of an abundance of Goshen. 6:29 in the morning. It's already started. Tell you what, we'll jump into headlines. On what? Are you not ready? Okay, Monica with headline news. After that, we'll take a look and see who our top 10 are this morning, and welcome all of the true believers into the fold. Mana, what happened?
Well, 2 boaters are safe this morning after their boat capsized last night outside a boat basin. Rescue units were called on a report of distressed swimmers about 7 last night. They were able to pull one man out of the water while the other one was able to swim ashore. Another COVID-related fatality was reported as well yesterday, marking the 197th. This one was a 76-year-old man who was fully vaccinated but did have underlying health conditions. Meanwhile, the JIC report says that there are 144 new cases that were confirmed out of 1,200 people who were tested on Wednesday. And some relief for the Guam Memorial Hospital has been fighting an increased number of COVID admissions. The Army Reserve sending another 50 nurses who will work with special critical or support critical patient care. They're scheduled to be with GMH at least until the end of October. And those are your headlines right here on The Point.
One of them has got this Regine Bisco Leaf forehead thing going on. You catching that, Real Joe?
I'm getting that, man.
6:30 in the morning. It's the Ray Gibson Show until it's not going to be anymore. Take a quick break, and we'll do all of the regular stuff, and then jump into the Facebook and YouTubes, right?
Go green, go solar, and save big with Nambo Insurance. When you power up your home with solar panels, Nambo Insurance will pay up to $350 toward your power bill. With Nambo, you can enjoy great savings while going green and helping to save Guam's environment. At Nambo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Nambo.com or call 477-9754 for details. Nambo Insurance, proudly serving Guam for over 50 years.
You know all those amazing photos and videos saved on your camera roll capturing your love for Guam? We want to see it. Log on to visitguam.com/Instagram to submit your best moments for a chance to win weekly prizes. The Guam Visitors Bureau will choose a weekly winner, so share your love for our island paradise now and win. Brought to you by GVB. Thank you for making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Hey, 6:31 in the morning, Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by Take Care with your high-quality health plans and services supported by a global network of providers. They're your trusted partner for your health solutions. And they say, Biba, welcome aboard to all of their GovGuam employees and retirees. Take Care Our Island, your health plan. Thinking about lunch, dinner later on, maybe something for the weekend? Applebee's has got the most spectacular takeout platters going on Guam. You'll love the $60 and your choice of boneless wings or mozzarella sticks, a large house salad. How about the St. Louis ribs or miso salmon, island pork chops, pot roast or salmon Alfredo. Plenty to choose from, lots to enjoy with Applebee's.
Over the past 5 years, confidential data and network breaches have doubled for small and large businesses, resulting in huge financial loss. At GTA, our multi-threat security bundle is a cost-effective solution monitored by our team of experts, ready to detect known malware and stop new evolving cyber threats before entering your network.
Protect your business with confidence and call 671-644-1000 or visit gta.net/enterprise. GTA, we start with you.
Traffic Gizmo on my screen. Let me click a button, get it up on your screen as well, and it looks like traffic is light generally everywhere. Not seeing a whole lot up in Anderson Air Force Base, into the Gigo area, southbound Marine Corps Drive. Not even a whole lot of intersection traffic right now at a Sing Song in the intersection of 1 and 3. 1 and Micronesia Mall running clear. Later on, that will be busy. Again, a protest for the Guam Freedom Coalition starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I intend to be there, and if you've got some thoughts, maybe you come on by. We'll talk about them. We got traffic down Route 16, 8, 10, and 16. A little bit of traffic on the school side, on the Wendy's side, and then you make your way down towards Agutnia. You are going to find some traffic for folks that are trying to get up onto Teedson right now, and maybe that's going to be all right. Not a whole lot getting into the downtown Agutnia area. Southbound Marine Corps Drive all the way down to Big Navy should be running clear for you right about now at 6:33. That's right now traffic. This is The Point.
Raise your glasses for a toast, because First Hawaiian Bank now turns your meals into a reason to celebrate. Every dollar you spend on dining purchases, including fast food, earns you up to 3 times United miles. Simply use your First Hawaiian Bank United credit card and start reaping the most rewarding credit card experience on island. Terms and restrictions apply. Don't have a First Hawaiian Bank credit card? Visit any branch or FHB.com to apply today. With First Hawaiian Bank, it all starts with yes.
Need to finish the job or start one the right way? Get the right stuff at East West Rental Center. You can switch to easy mode using industrial strength equipment. With years of experience helping builders, East West Rental gives you exactly what you need. Tools for landscaping, concrete, lifts, trucks, tables, tents, chairs, water blasters, excavators, forklifts, air compressors, and more. Call East West Rental Center at 646-1463 or visit them in Upper Tumont. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 to 5, Sundays 8 to 5. You know, it's 6:34 in the morning, and you're making your way into the office, and maybe you've got one of those projects that could go a little bit faster if you had some better internet and maybe some better technology. Call the guys over at Docomo and have them talk you into a customized bundle. They'll right-size proper pipes for internet and make sure that your employees, especially the ones out in the field, are rocking with some great mobile coverage, TV, phone plans, like an actual pick up the phone and dial it. They can help you with that. The more services you add, the more you save with Docomo Pacific's Business Bundles Plus. Call or visit today at Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Guam Auto Spot has the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $127 per paycheck, 0 down. Call 671-478-AUTO to take a test drive or get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
6:35, Friday morning. What day is it? It's October the 1st already? Hey, a big thank you very much to everybody that found the place at the Pika magazine in the PDN and said that, you know, that Point radio station, best radio station on Guam. appreciate the nomination, and on behalf of the Star 101 and Boss 104, I'd like to say thanks for the nominations on those as well. Tell you what, it's time now to go and vote. Now, I'll get you some links and stuff like that and let you know, but generally, I think you just go to the PDN's website on Pika or whatever and just look for The Point on the best radio stations and click on that. And who knows, maybe there'll be an opportunity for me to find all kinds of swag from among some of our groovy sponsors and give them away to people that can prove that they have voted for us every single day. And Lee Weber, I remember the deal. I'll vote for you at MDA if you vote for me here on The Point, right on?
Word.
Exactly. 6:36 in the morning. Lee, among the true believers out there, and there are others. We'll meet them in a second.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
It is neat, isn't it? I had a dream. I had a dream that you guys, we all got together and bought each other dinner, and it was cool.
Aww.
Except it got to be like 11 o'clock at night, and I got to work the next morning, and nobody wanted to help me clean. I don't, it's just one of those things. I had to do one of those. I had to do one of those passive aggressive things, like, oh yeah, you guys go ahead, I'll clean up, I'll take care of all of this, even though I got to be awake in 5 hours. It's all right. No, I got it. But anyway, on the list here, I got who's number one, the mom of the show, Pam Duvall, who would have never. She's the kind of girl, she starts cleaning up about an hour before people are even starting to think about leaving. Lady D coming in at number two, Senator Vince Borja. Good morning to you, my friend. And Jerome McDonald says, nice pink shirt, Chairman Ray. No, Jerome, what you were wearing at that Japanese restaurant you posted your picture in front of on Facebook, now that was a nice shirt. The question is, though, what did you eat? What did you eat at that Japanese restaurant? Inquiring minds want to know. Kenneth Polino is there. Let me see. Yes, Thames are the whales. That's Chance's School. Oh, okay. So Sarita, Chance's School is going to get about $150,000, I'm sorry, worth of LED lighting. Now I don't know if that meant like this weekend, like they're going to run up to Home Depot and buy all the lights, or that Chinese place on Route 16 and get all the LED lights. Now, I don't know if that's going to be happening, but they've got the money for it now, y'all, and I can maybe down the road. There's going to be it will be one of those things where when you take your sunrise pictures from in that side of the island, you'll be able to see the glare from Tuning Hill. Bertha Mazza Cruz, living in the Pacific, said, Ray, you got your tongue in front of your eyes and can't see anything. What you're saying. What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means. Charlie Robeson, Dollar Tree is now $1.50. I'd heard that yesterday. That was one of the big stories they were talking about on the Fox News, was that the dollar stores are now going to start selling items in their stores for more than $1. Imagine
no
that.
Way.
Now, do you remember the first time had you ever been to one of those in Japan?
No.
Oh my God!
No.
So I remember that was like a pilgrimage. So as soon as we get off the plane, for some reason, the first place you want to go is the 100 yen store that they've got there, and it's just amazing the things that you can buy. And I remember being just bamboozled by the whole count. Wait! Everything in here is 100 yen. Everything in this store is 100 yen. These reading glasses, these USB patch cords, this notebook. Right? And yes, everything is 100 yen. Wow, we got to get something like this in a state.
Well, we had something here. Remember, Goodies started out as a dollar store.
Right.
And then it went to $1.50, and now there's around $2.
But you can still, I know.
But I mean, it's still good quality stuff.
You know what they got at Goody? The goodies that I want. It's just I never have cash. Right? This is a serious problem for me.
It's true,
I literally never have cash.
He's broke.
And I walked into the place with Mayumi, and you know what they have there? Sometimes you go eat at Join Us, and the guy says, you want garlic with your steak? And the answer is always yes. Ooh. And they've got these perfectly sliced fried garlic things.
Yeah.
Little garlic chips,
slicer?
right? No, they've got little garlic chips in a bag.
Oh.
That's little Japanese people in the back cutting that with blades.
yeah, like
Japanese
that.
steel.
On the mandolin going.
Want to smell your fingers? I want to smell your
Tempting
fingers. Anyway, so I got Ken Augustin Balin Siddell with multiple hearts here this morning, and James Howard, who's checking in on this side and reminding everybody the cool back of the bus kids are at the YouTube site.
I never heard of him.
So he's referring to it as the Champagne Room. Welcome to the Champagne Room. I just want to point something out, Gemma Bustamante. You're the only girl in the Champagne Room right now. It could be dangerous for you. We've got who else is playing around online here this morning? I get a lot of repeats here. Lady D, as I said, Dona Mila into Taitano. Guam nurses are the best. I've always said so. Dona Emilia, see if you can find some Guam nurses in the States that might have been fired with this idiocy. It's like, well, we know that we've got a problem with our health care, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to flex our power and cause everybody in the healthcare industry in the States to get vaccinated, whether they want to or not, realizing, and every single one of them realizing, I don't need to get the vaccine. I don't want to get the vaccine. And if you force me on this, I'll just quit and go someplace else and help them with their medical pressures. And so we'll watch and see what happens in New York with all of the rest of this. Sherry Iriarte, my washer gets fixed today. What's his name? Former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez.
Hey, bring in the sunshine.
Nice.
Is he back?
I don't think so. Mil Tutao says happy 27th Independence Day for the Republic of Palau.
Which is Happy Independence Day, Palau.
Now, he's there, right? Is that our understanding?
Yeah.
He's down in Palau?
He's in Babeldat.
You're just making that up. Well, I mean,
You're
if they're
probably
doing,
right.
If they're doing the anniversary celebration, that's up in. It's the one thing in Babadov is the government house, government that they've got up there. Everything else is down in Koror. So stop by Llanos on the way back. Some stuffed crab. Yeah. Yes.
Are we still allowed to bring that in? I thought we weren't. I thought they stopped that.
No, they have to swab the crab's nostril to check if it's...
So this is kind of a ridiculous way it happened. The last time I had Palauan stuffed crab, it actually came via Saipan.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow is right.
Jump,
Yeah. So I don't know if there are restrictions or whatever. But it was there were people that were flying through and they got from Palau up to Saipan and from Saipan they jumped the stuffed crab to Guam. Okay, so this is we're talking about this in the same day. There's a story in the front page of the Post talking about 4 pounds of methamphetamine was intercepted over at the airport. But the joke floating around on Facebook is, but they sent 20. Where's the other 15? Peter Santos says there's a new dollar store on Route 13. Really? Route 3. Are you joking? Are you making an editorial thing? Is this some kind of snide swipe at Mike Nicholas somehow, Peter? I don't know. But anyway, Brendan Fausto, Jigo Jarhead, sending good vibes. Good to have you there. Garlic chips are yummy, says Dona Mila. Brad Wood saying hi again to everybody. Dennis Benzer watching the program. So is Jack Bucas. And there's a couple others. Keena McCausland, happy Friday, Point Familia. And Keena, I was thinking when Jenna and Bruno's 2 pica sauce comes in.
Oh yeah,
we're definitely going to do the unboxing here on the program.
The taste testing too.
The taste testing as well. But I did get a note from Ton Duk Duk yesterday. It says, from one of them, says you shouldn't have a problem. You're Chamorro boy. You're going to be all right. But for the other one, it's really pika.
Oh, man.
And the recommendation was have something cold to drink nearby and put the toilet paper in the bathroom and in the icebox already because you're going to want it cold. Dennis said, yes, we brought stuffed crabs back last month. But, yeah, Dennis, you're special. Maybe for a guy like you, they look the other way. Keena McCausland said, tough guys wear pink. Ray, thank you very much for noticing. Sandra Regis is there. Peter Santos says, no, it's not fake news. It's iMart. He says iMart is a dollar store up on Route 3. Isn't that where Chanel's mom's place is? Also Route 3?
I think so.
All right, gives us an opportunity to goof off. Sarita Garin says Oktoberfest starts today, and she's got that drunk face emoji with the eyes going in the other directions. No more refish allowed out of Palau is what Dennis is saying, but you can, I guess, take the other deals. Good. All right, so that rounds out just about everybody on the Facebook. Like I said, Gemma and Rico Blancaflor also taking up a position with Peter Tureen and the Howard Experience and Living in the Pacific over on the YouTube side. They've got their own side conversations going on. They've They've got I think they've set up their own little government on the Ray Gibson Show YouTube site. So you might want to check on that one every once in a while, just in case. All right, 6:45 in the morning. Items in the table of contents. And normally what I do is I take a look at the front page of today's Guam Daily Post, and it is an interesting one. The idea that they managed in one container to find 4 pounds of crystal methamphetamine. Street value of that, real Joe?
$25 million.
A little bit of an exaggeration, but I don't know. You might.
Well, those are 90s prices, man.
Meth dealer, and here's another story. It's you can't just think about as bad as things are with the COVID-19 and all of the other nonsense around here. Is there still people who think, yeah, this is a great way to enjoy the weekend? Let's go smoke crystal methamphetamine on Friday morning and then sleep Monday. Right? We just go charge all the way through the weekend or whatever it is. I cannot imagine a high that would be worth all of the crap that crystal methamphetamine has caused this island. And it's you get this story here about Eric Aponic, also front page of today's Guam Daily Post. Meth dealer gets 8 years. And then he's going to get credit for time served. I don't know how much actual time he's going to serve. And then I'm getting this weird kind of attitude as I'm reading the thing, right? So he signs a plea agreement, which is why it's only 8 years with time served. And so the judge, Francis Tydenko Gatewood, is handing it down. He says, first of all, they calculated drug sales while this guy was career dude on the street, somewhere around $8.3 million. And even Francis Tydenko goes, wow, that's kind of astonishing when we start thinking about it. The plea deal with the government, hold on, we got to go to page 4 for this excitement here, included a wealth of items being confiscated, 30 firearms, 11 cars, motorcycles. There are 62 Louis Vuitton handbags. He doesn't look like the type that would carry an LV.
Those are swaps, Ray.
But again, gotta. I'm the guy with the pink shirt. 62 Louis Vuitton handbags, hundreds of pieces of jewelry, 6 TVs, 2 computers, 6 Gucci bags, 12 watches, Bose speakers, bars of silver, and the equity in his house in Silent Pago, Ordot. And apparently he didn't know that was part of the plea agreement.
Wow.
Apparently didn't know. Before hearing his fate, Aponic became upset inside the courtroom after he realized what he'd be losing. He says, quote, if I ever read this plea agreement, I would never have signed it. He says, they came to me with the very back page and said, sign this and I will get you out of prison. So not only did he sign it and lose all of that crap, he still has to go to prison.
Oh, man.
And so, you know how I am. I got a big heart for people that are victims of crystal methamphetamines, the guys that, just, wow, I got into a bad habit. I don't know how to get out of it. You know what? If you really want to, you can find the help. You find Jess Mendiola on Facebook. He'll talk you down. But for the dealers, I think, number one, they should all go to jail. And I hope they all go to jail as pissed off as this guy is. I hope every single one. They're going to sit in jail for 8 years going, man, 62 purses. How am I going to rebuild my LV and my how am I going to rebuild my LV empire?
Here's a very expensive lesson. This
Exactly.
is a teachable moment.
The teachable moment.
Read everything you sign.
Never sign anything unless you've read the whole
Everything.
thing.
The whole thing.
First time I bought a house. And they come to me and this
And read it
signing
again.
right?
Read it a couple times.
They got the signature papers and all this stuff that you've got to do. And I said, okay, hold on. Can you make me some coffee or get me some water? They said, why? I said, because I'm reading every single word here in this document. And if you have a legal dictionary, I'd like to get that too, just cause. And
if you didn't read it, try signing with your left hand. That way you can say, oh, that's not my signature.
Ooh. Haven't thought of that. Interesting technology.
If you don't feel like reading.
Wow.
What have we got here? 888-8255-888-TALK. We're talking about Dona Mila Sandra Regis, October 3rd, Sunday, 3 p.m., Our Lady of Lourdes Church. Somebody's getting married. Are we all invited?
Wow.
I don't have to clean up at 11 o'clock, do I?
Jose. Is Jose getting married? I thought he was already married.
I don't know. He didn't tell me if he did. Eric had a biggest drug problem since the 1970s. I think our problem with methamphetamine is way worse than the drug problem in the 70s. Look, in the 70s, the dealers actually started killing each other. right? We had, because the supply dried up. So we had that going for us. Every weekend there was a drug-related murder, but you take a look at just the long-term impacts of crystal methamphetamine here on Guam. And over all of these years, all of the destroyed families and businesses, individuals and their reputations. I think over the long story arc, our drug problem with meth on Guam is worse than our heroin problem. At least that was all done by about the beginning of the 1980s, right? Jason Dinkle there, Charlie Robinson. Wonder what the commission was on those goods, right? Let me see. A note here from Dona Mila Sandra Regis. People are afraid of DPHSS, so maybe we should invite GPD SWAT so that somebody will be present to witness. All right. You guys are doing wedding planning right here on Facebook Live. This is amazing. Eric Atta with this guy, no remorse, right? He's more offended by what he's lost in the process. Also a note from Lady D, and always read the fine print. The government giveth and the government taketh away. So other items in the table of contents. Let me just go through some of the printouts that I've already got here this morning. The amusing one, 5 tips to make the most of your vacation here on Guam. And this one here that has got a tinge of sadness on it. So long, splendid ivory-billed woodpecker. 23 from 19 states lost to extinction. Little is gained and much is lost with an extinction declaration, says Cornell University woodpecker specialist, who vows to keep looking for the ivory-billed woodpecker. It's been an interesting day, an interesting week, hasn't it?
My life's work.
Exactly. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And there's apparently a whole process to this. Things just don't go extinct because you can't find them anymore. Apparently, there's a whole process. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service proposed Wednesday to remove 23 animals and a plant from the endangered species list, reluctantly declaring them all extinct. Among the latest delistings of the ivory-billed woodpecker. What is that, the third time I've said that?
Yeah.
Thank you. The Bachman's warbler, the Shoto mad tom, San Marcos gambusia, and 8 species of southwestern freshwater mussels. From Hawaii are alone 8 birds and a flower. And on Guam, 1 bird and a bat from the U.S. territory of Guam were also included in the list of animals that they're just not going to look for anymore. Among the animals in 2016 study, found that species waited a median of 12 years to receive safeguards from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Several of the species in this announcement today went extinct during a delay in the listing process. That includes the Guam broadbill. You just ate one of those, didn't you?
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
delicious.
Wait, these are extinct?
Delicious.
Well, they are now. And the little Mariana fruit bat is apparently on the list.
Well, the bat could go. Those things are scary.
What?
Yeah.
What?
No, take the bat. It's okay.
But it's the little Mariana fruit bat. Is that and
cute
it's
or something?
Cute.
Yeah, little flying foxes, right?
Yeah.
But now I guess I know that there are other fruit bats in other places. I mean, you go to Can
you just
Australia.
bring some of them from Palau and bring them back and.
Well, I don't know. Would they be an invasive species? I don't know if they're the same kind of fruit bats that we have. Because I want to say the ones in Palau.
I don't know. Bats are scary. I'm okay with them being gone.
And like Cairns,
the
Australia.
geckos too.
And the snakes and all of the other ones. But the little Mariana fruit bat is apparently on the list. Now, the distinction here, little Mariana fruit bat, because it occurs to me while I'm thinking about it, I think some of the fruit bats that live in other parts of the Asia hood here are not little. They're like big. I mean, wingspan the size of the kitchen table kind of fruit bats. Mana's looking at me like, what do you mean they have bats that big? Have you ever been to Can, Australia?
No.
Oh, my God. Okay. 654. People that have will recognize this. Anybody that's also been to Fiji will recognize this. There is a time around sunset in Cairns, there are trees in the city. Mango trees, I want to say. Big mango trees are huge. And the cars that are parked along the road where these trees are covered with bat poop.
Oh, nice.
Just absolutely just covered.
Guano.
Yeah. You know, and you just know it's got to take a hammer and chisel to get that stuff off. But around sunset, all of a sudden, they decide, okay, time to go eat. All of them, like the boss of the tree, will say, let's go, follow me. And they'll get on the go and go fly around tropical North Queensland looking for food. And they'll be out all night long, and then they'll fly back in the morning, and just these massive numbers of fruit bat. And I'm, like I said, kid from Guam, I'm looking up there going, Come on down. Let's go.
Hungry?
Come on. I've got a Bill Munya recipe. I know the Bill Munya soup recipe for fruit bat. I only need one of you. I don't need 3 or 4 of you. I'm saying. But it seems to me, though, that they're bigger than the ones that we've got here on Guam. So I don't know that there's a way. Maybe there's a thing that we can do if they still exist up in Rhoda and Tinian. And I think that we might be able to bring a few of them down here and bring them back to life. And they can live in that Nelsoni tree.
Oh, yes.
I'm just trying to put everything all together here in the same thing. I've got a couple of magistrate reports that I'm going to read to you a little bit later on, and I hesitate to do it now because there's just so much. It's the word I'm looking for here. There's just so much crap in these stories here that will make you frowny face. And, it's Friday, and I try not to do that. But it's a story. Maybe you saw it on Candid yesterday where the guys went to basically everybody in the house and hit them all with a bat, got ticked off at the woman in the house, and went after her while she was holding the baby and managed to punch the baby in the head. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yeah, and it doesn't sound like this guy was much of an angel even before he started picking up machetes and baseball bats and allegedly punching babies in the head. So we'll get around to talking about that and a few other things that are taking place that are fun. Anyway, 6:56. Let me finish up with a little bit of inside baseball. I assume that you listen to the radio for a variety of reasons. This radio station, I have no idea why you listen to us. But for whatever reason, you find yourself here. I'm glad you are. I'm here, and I'm glad you're there. And maybe you just, it's a thing. Just always had radio going on in your life. Not necessarily one of those radio fans, radio freaks. But maybe one or two of you are. Maybe one or two of you are and would like to know about the state of broadcasting. Every once in a while, they come out with a report on the two most programmed formats on AM and FM across the country. And you might be curious as to what the big music format is all across the country. What would you say it is? Like rap music, urban music?
I would say
pop
right
music?
now it's country.
Country.
Am I right?
It is. It is country. There are, as of right now, 2,193 country music radio stations across the country. That number is down from where it's been before, but that's because there's a couple of other movers and shakers. Another huge format for radio stations across country: news talk. What we do here. And you think about it here on Guam, and think about the number of radio stations that were in this business before, and how many are really trying to make a living at it right about now. Everybody's doing a little bit of talking, aren't they? Religious music comes out the number 3. Contemporary Christian rounds out number 4. Variety is at number 5. And you put variety. I've got a couple of ideas on a couple of variety formats that I want to do here on Guam, but I'm not going to put them on the air because my competitors are listening all the time. Oh, my God. Don't you guys have your other radio stations to pay any attention to? And then you get into other things. The crazy thing is by the time you start to getting into other formats that you think would be doing better, they're not. Boss 104, Classic Hits radio station, comes in right behind Spanish. Then there's sports, top 40 around the bottom, and classic rock. Oddly, classic rock down at the bottom of the recognized formats. That is kind of an amazing thing because many of us grew up listening to rock stations that overall of the year, because they're not really making a whole lot of new Rolling Stones or Beatles tunes anymore. Who saw
Well,
this?
classic rock is now heavy metal of the 80s.
Is that classic rock, man?
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. You hear Metallica, AC/DC, those are
Hey, you be
classic
careful.
rock.
You be careful because there's Metallica people that are listening to the broadcast going,
Sorry, you're old.
Wait a second, Mana, aren't you the one that used to sing what's his name, Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses songs?
Night Ranger.
In your backyard at 2 o'clock in the morning? Yep, that's her. 7 o'clock, radio stations, KUSG, again, 93.3 News Talk. Yeah, I guess we can call ourselves that. Stand by now. Fox News Live is going to be coming up. We'll find out what they're wetting the bed over in the United States about, and maybe a few other things. Stick around, Brown. Ray Gibson Show playing here on The Point.
Steering clear of one crisis, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Just hours away from a government shutdown, the House and Senate pass a short-term spending bill, sending it to the president's desk. But they still face an October deadline to raise the debt limit after GOP opposition forced that provision out of the bill. White House spokeswoman Jen Psaki.
We're not going to let Republicans off the hook. We don't think they should be. This is not a game. This is the full faith and credit of the United States.
Republicans say Democrats can go it alone on the debt limit, just as they plan to do on trillions in new spending. Texas Senator John Cornyn.
We're doing everything we can to stop this reckless tax and spending spree. It's called reconciliation.
For now, though, Democrats are trying to work out their own differences on that package.
We're trying to get it done now. We're working on it as of right now, today, and that's what our focus is on in this moment.
That debate is threatening to derail a smaller bipartisan infrastructure bill, and talks on the larger package may have a long way to go. Moderate Democratic Senator Joe Manchin today floating a total about $2 trillion less than the original framework. All of this adding up to high anxiety on Wall Street. The Dow dropping 546 points today, and for September, the S&P slides nearly 5%, its biggest monthly drop since the pandemic began. Facebook ends up back on the Capitol Hill Grill.
We now know that Facebook routinely puts profits ahead of kids' online safety.
Connecticut Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal, part of a chorus of bipartisan criticism after reports the company's own research raised concerns it downplayed about the impact of its Instagram platform on teens.
As every parent knows, when it comes to kids and tweens, they're already online.
Facebook's global safety chief, Antigone Davis, defending their effort to make a kids' version of Instagram, which is now on hold, and insisting that research has not been accurately reported. Some lawmakers calling for updates to a federal law that protects kids online. America's listening to Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they'll continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer staycation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,900 by calling Family Finance. Again, 475-4545, Upper Tumon at 647-5626, or in Dededo at 633-4473. Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959.
There's so much that's new with the Eat Fresh, Refresh at Subway restaurants that we can't possibly fit it all into one radio spot, but I'm gonna try. There are amazing new toppings like hickory smoked bacon, bacon and smashed avocado. Try your favorite sub on the new breads like the hearty multigrain wheat or the artisan Italian white bread. Not to mention Subway's thicker, juicier steak. That's all I have time for. You gotta refresh to be fresh. Only at Subway.
Another danger facing today's teenagers, counterfeit pills, as the Justice Department announces a crackdown.
They're being sold in inner cities, suburbs, and rural communities. They're being sold over the internet and on social media platforms like Facebook Marketplace or Snapchat. And they're being marketed to teenagers.
Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco says they've seized over 9.5 million fake pills this year, more than the last 2 years combined, and the number found to include fentanyl has jumped over 400% since 2019. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un says he'll restore stalled communication lines with South Korea.
Kim's comments come a day after North Korea claimed it conducted its first hypersonic missile launch amid other recent tests. Left out of today's message, the Biden administration. Washington says it's ready to talk to Pyongyang anywhere, anytime. Kim said America's hostile policies and military threats remain unchanged, and that its offer of dialogue is nothing but an attempt to conceal hostility. U.S. and South Korean envoys for North Korea met today in the region, and the UN Security Council is set to meet in special session tomorrow to deal with recent Pyongyang provocations. In London, Greg Malcott, Fox News.
Another major firearms manufacturer is on the move to a different region.
Smith & Wesson is heading south and moving its corporate headquarters from Springfield, Massachusetts to Tennessee. The company joins other gun makers that have moved to southern states with less restrictive gun laws. Smith & Wesson will be investing more than $125 million to relocate its headquarters and some operations from Springfield, where it has been based since 1852, to near Knoxville. The Springfield location will remain operational, but will be reconfigured, and the company will still have more than 1,000 employees in the state.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. Smith & Wesson expects about 750 jobs to relocate to Tennessee. And Lisa Brady, this is Fox News.
Over the past 5 years, confidential data and network breaches have doubled for small and large businesses, resulting in huge financial loss. At GTA, our multi-threat security bundle is a cost-effective solution monitored by our team of experts, ready to detect known malware and stop new evolving cyber threats before entering your network.
Protect your business with confidence and call 671-644-1000 or visit gta.net/enterprise. GTA. We start with you.
Bargain Tactical, Guam's largest firearms dealer and sports shooting store, offering the best selection on island. You'll find everything you need for your next trip to the range. Ammo, target, stands, hearing and eye protection. A full-time armorer is ready to help with repairs, maintenance, and builds. Plus, you'll find a large selection of home defense accessories, including tasers, stun guns, pepper spray, batons, and home security devices. Pellet, BB, and airsoft guns in stock now for pest control and training. Tactical Gear Guam, Route 16, Army Drive, and Harmon. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Bargain Tactical 671 or online, bargaintacticalguam.com. Bargain Tactical. You defend, we support.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Off a day at 7:06, I'm Mana Silva Tyron with a look at your local news on the point. 2 boaters are safe this morning after they were plucked from the waters outside of the boat basin yesterday. Rescuers were called to a report of a couple of distressed swimmers. It happened about 7 last night. They were able to pull one man out of the water while the other was able to swim ashore. The 2 were on a 12-foot fishing boat that capsized, and one of the men suffered exhaustion and had minor injuries. He was taken to GMH. There was another COVID-related fatality reported yesterday, marking the 197th. This 76-year-old man who was said to be fully vaccinated but did have underlying health conditions. There remains 58 people in the hospital with 14 in intensive care, 8 of them on ventilators. Meanwhile, the Joint Information Center reports 144 new cases out of 1,300 people who were tested on Wednesday. At the same time, there's a relief from the Army Reserve that sent 15 nurses who will work with supporting critical patient care, in particular in the emergency room and ICU. They are scheduled to work at the Guam Memorial Hospital at least until the end of October. Also, booster shots are being made available at the vaccination clinics, offering the Pfizer booster to those who are 65 and up, people with underlying health conditions, as well as healthcare workers and frontline workers. You are asked to make an appointment via Eventbrite for this booster shot. They are saying that some walk-ins are being accepted, though, but there will be a bit of a wait. Also, the vaccinations are being available to expectant mothers. The CDC recently issued an official health advisory stating that pregnant and recently pregnant people are at increased risk of severe illness, death, and pregnancy complications. They are urging expectant mothers to get the vaccine. We'll have more news right after this.
Contact Express Financial for all your financial needs. Express Financial is consumer lending at its very best. They also have a host of dealer service programs with quick approvals. There are 3 ways to apply. Over the phone at 637-9834. You may visit their office in person at 600 Harmon Loop Road across the street from Costules. Or you can also visit their webpage and apply at myexpressfinancial.com. In most cases, you'll get your money the same day.
A man charged in a shooting last month in Dededo at a residence has pleaded not guilty in the Superior Court. Jensen Belga DeVels, charged with attempted murder and other charges. He was arrested along with Justin Michael Duenas in that shooting. The Guam Daily Post reports both have waived their rights to a speedy trial. Meanwhile, a federal court judge has denied a request by the former Gura attorney to dismiss fraud charges against him, and charges against attorney Mark Smith will proceed. Smith is a former attorney for Gura and was charged with wire fraud and money laundering in connection with rental payments that he received under the Section 8 housing program. He's accused of receiving housing payments through a co-defendant who has since died. There was a conflict of interest because he was the Gura legal counsel. He further is alleged to have used his friend to conceal his ownership of those rental properties that were rented under Section 8. He's scheduled to be in court, his jury selection rather, is scheduled to be held on October 19th. And another $5 million is being paid out of the Department of Rev and Tax in refunds. It covers about 2,096 tax refunds that were filed on or before June 7th of this year. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Here's Ray with your weather.
I was looking at the story. I was talking about this story a little bit earlier on things to do and see on your tropical vacation to beautiful Guam. And the story talks about the tiny island is packed with beautiful scenery and interesting historical sites. The first item on your tropical vacation to-do list has to be hitting the beach to enjoy the powdery white sand and crystal clear waters of Alupang Beach. That's nice. Over by Alupang. Except nothing going on over there. The only people in the water over there is like me, and there's a bunch of homeless guys. Because I go there every once in a while. A bunch of homeless guys and the people that live in the Alupang condominiums. Alupang Beach thing, what's his name's deal? That hasn't been a going concern since this thing started. Serene Coco Palm Beach. Get a good look at the island's flora and fauna as you trek through the jungle to stay under the spray of the cascading Tarzan Falls. Take a peek. Tarzan Falls. Isn't that where they've got that one little garden of like massive statues? You know which statues I'm talking about?
No.
The adult-oriented statues?
I don't think so.
No, that's Telefofo Falls. You're right.
Yeah.
It's over at Telefofo Falls. Anyway, take a peek into the history of the ancient Guamanian culture at the Latistone Park, where you can walk among the rock artifacts which once adorned the tribal buildings. And if you're curious about the Chamorro tribes and want to know about the island's history, agate. I'm just kidding. Try a self-guided tour to explore the island's historic landmarks. In the evening, make your way over to Punta dos Amantes Cliff, known as Two Lovers Point, to enjoy the best sunset view on island. I could disagree with that point. And I think there's a lot of people that say, oh, yeah, Two Lovers Point, that's a nice sunset, but there's too much ocean. It's hard to put things into context there, you know? So you want to go someplace, beach bar, Mark Baldiga's Beach Bar. Great sunset spot, and then you make your way down the coast a little bit more. Get to the other side of the peninsula over there, and I'm thinking there's some great spots over at on that side of the island, Duncas Beach, etc. I like Duncas, I like Teray, and then you get the people that go, hey boy, don't forget the South. South has beautiful sunsets as well. Haven't seen one like that since the guys over down in Molesso. I think I got one. Where's the guy from the boat? There he is. Inner Harbor sunrise this morning. It ain't sunset, It's sunrise. And I think this is taken off one of those APL boats, the Herodot. I'm pretty sure that's Dave's boat. But anyway, so he's anchored down there and watching some incredible views here on Guam. Wouldn't that be fun? You know what? Charlie and I have actually toyed with that, the idea of that, where we'd go, how about, just for fun, we'll go on one of these APL ships and ride with them up to Saipan. And then ride back home with him. How cool would that be?
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Except I'm wondering what's the food like on those things? Because what is it, like 20 guys?
Oh, we'll just open one of the containers, man, and grab a steak or,
713. Which one of these containers has the spam?
It's going to the governor's.
So, oh my God, we got to get a hold of Troy and hear a little bit more. So, how many luxury trips did this guy take on the GPD boats while the rest of the island is in lockdown? While the rest of the CNMI is at the grips of COVID-19 and the great lockdowns, this guy's apparently out gallivanting on the police boat, going fishing and trolling between Tinian and the Northern Islands. 7:13. Here it comes. The weather. High surf advisory until noon Sunday along west and north facing reefs. High risk of rip currents through Sunday morning along west and north facing reefs as well. West side, be careful. Some of my favorite beaches, as I said, is on that side of the island. So watch out for those rip currents and high surf. Partly cloudy today, isolated showers this morning. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers in the afternoon, and a possibility of thunderstorms today. Easterly winds to 10 miles an hour. Highs 86 degrees. Factor in the heat index. It's going to be another hot one. 98 is what they're talking about today. For tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered showers, and isolated thunderstorms. I don't want to make too many predictions about the weekends because there's still so much clouds in the area, so that could hamper grill mark activities. But if you see a chance, definitely take it. Sunrise this morning, 6:10. Sunset tonight, 6:10. No kidding. Hashtag tell the others. It's 7:14. That's news and weather together. This is The Point.
As we get back to business, Docomo Pacific is ready to keep you connected. Introducing Business Bundles Plus. Build a customized bundle with the right internet, mobile, TV, and phone plan for your business. Pay for exactly what you need and nothing you don't. And the more services you add, the more you save. Plus, you can rely on Docomo Pacific's fastest, most reliable network and 24/7 customer support. So build your own bundle and save today with Business Bundles Plus. Call 671-688-2677. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
The more you buy, the more you save for the whole month of August at Furniture Kathy Style. We just received a huge shipment of area rugs, all 30% off from now until the end of the month. Furnish your home at great discount and take advantage of our amazing deals for this month. If you're not buying furniture from us, you're paying too much. Stop by our showroom or visit our website at FurnitureKathyStyle.com. To shop with us today, contact us at 671-300-9590 or on social media for more information.
What I say is going to be a hot one today. So check out 11's. That's the 11's coffee shop right behind us here in the old Rosie Rouge building. And the most refreshing drinks, calamansi tea, mouth-watering, pastries, sandwiches that are absolutely to die for. Really great service, too. 858-2180. Don't keep it a secret. For more information, don't forget to vote for them as Pika's best nominations for coffee shops. 7:15, Ray Gibson Show, also brought to you by these guys.
Guam Auto Spot has the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $127 per paycheck. Zero down. Call 671-478-AUTO to take a test drive or get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com.
Rediscover talk radio here. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255. Boom!
$7:16 as I'm at Torrey watching the sunset last night and feeding the orange cat that's cross-eyed, Keaton. Looked like Mana's old cat, Axl Rose. Same color hair. So because the singer, it's red hair, right? Anyway, 7:17. So I'm looking at in one direction at the beautiful sunset happening in the cat, and it occurred to me, hey, there's a gas station across the street. Got a Shell. Wonder if they've changed the price of gas just yet at the Shell gas station.
Did they?
As of sunset last night, they did not.
Wow.
It was still $4.74 and 9/10 for a gallon of gas, despite the fact that Tapas yesterday was trading at $81.14. And you might be going, Raymond, 7:17, it's Friday morning. No frowny face Friday morning. Tell me where Tapas is now. We'll get into this before we get into some of the other numbers that might not make any difference in your portfolio. Tapas numbers make a big difference almost immediately in how much money you can spend at the gas station. $79.66 for a barrel of Tapas crude. That was the number this morning. It's not $81.14, but it's still $79.66 when you compare that to what's happening with some of the other commodities, oil prices. West Texas now $75.03. So it was trading in fairly narrow range for West Texas crude, but it's the Tapas that's expensive now and among the more expensive oils on the planet right now. And that's the kind that we buy. The refined version of that goes into the gasoline that goes into cars on Guam. How they have managed to make it through the last couple of days with an increasing value for these barrels of Tapas oil without raising the prices of gasoline in this town, I don't know. But I feel it coming. It's Friday. Jerry Roberts will say, watch what happens about 10 o'clock this morning as the numbers begin to change on all the machines. They'll be the guy. Not all of them have got these special fancy electronic signs that say, Jerry, take the bus. Jerry. You get the reference?
Yes.
I was watching Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye. You remember?
Yeah, it was leading him around.
Yeah. You get the computer that was saying all these LED signs, the parking signs.
Yeah.
Jerry, get in the bus. Jerry, go get the briefcase. Jerry, do this. Jerry, do that. But anyway, they've got those signs out there. So watch out what happens if you've still got time and you're about halfway through on the gas. If you can afford to put another half tank worth of gasoline in the car, I would do that today at the $4.75 price because I got my spidey senses tingling, telling me that it's going to be going up. You're probably wondering what else is tingling on me, aren't you? Stop it. Get your head out of the gutter. we've got work to do around here. 7:19. Let's take a look at what happened on the rest of the markets. I need the music today. I don't know why. I just need the music. We've got the S&P 500 off by 50 points, closing at 4,307. NASDAQ, 14,448. They only lost 63 points today. They've had some bigger losses earlier in the week. Dow Jones Industrial Average had a bad Wednesday. Looks like they've got a bad Friday here as well. That's our Friday, our Wednesday. It is their Thursday, and there's much lamentation going on today because the Dow has slipped 546 points. 33,843 is where you're going to find the Dow today. FTSE is off by 21. The Nikkei off by almost 100. They're at 29,452. Hang Seng loses 87 points. We got the Shanghai up by 30. The VIX is up by about a half a point, and the DAX off by 104 points. So lousy numbers on most of the markets here today. Looking at the Dow, you think maybe I got a top five for the big movers? No, there's only two that netted green today. They are Chevron and Caterpillar Inc. Merck, Johnson & Johnson, and Dow Inc. round out the top five in the red here this morning. At the bottom of the Dow, Microsoft, Salesforce, Goldman, Boeing, and Apple. Apple down there in the bottom five again. What are they doing wrong? Are they having a hard time with something? You know, big chips that aren't getting put into phones and shortages virtually everywhere in everybody's supply chain, including Apple's, believe it or not. So there could be some products that they know they're going to have a market for which they just aren't going to be able to get off the ground. And I got a feeling that that's going to be the case for a lot of business around here. 7:21 in the morning. As I said, the commodities, it doesn't look good. West Texas crude, not so bad, at around $75. TAP is trading at $79. And if you were going to buy a Bitcoin today, Real Joe, how much would that Bitcoin cost us?
$43,454.
$43,454. That's a couple of grand more than it was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, but it ain't up into 55s, and it ain't down in the low 30s or anything like that. We'll watch and see where the rest of it happens to go. 888-8255-888-TALK. 7:21 in the morning. A few other stories before Jerry Roberts gets in here to take care of the extra point. Office of Insular Affairs, $3 million going to be spent to protect coral reefs and combat invasive species in the insular areas. You know, maybe I got an idea about those fruit bats up in the CNMI. Maybe there's something we can do. We'll put together some kind of hui up there. We'll go catch a whole bunch and we'll bring them down here. Wouldn't it be incredible if we found out that something like these fruit bats, if we get them in decent enough numbers, would they eat all of the rhinoceros beetles?
Oh wow!
Would they? I mean, has anybody ever done that? You know, I got friends in the departments, U.S. Interior Agriculture.
DA.
Have any of you guys ever gotten a whole bunch of the larvae or the adult rhinoceros beetles and put them in? I don't know, stick it in front of the fruit bat?
Yeah, see what.
Eat it. Taggy this.
It doesn't look.
Like the
good,
T-shirt at
though,
Mosa says, taggy this, I made. Let's see what this looks like to you. Mana was doing some home improvements and found a bag of dirt over at your place, Mana, and on the inside of it was a whole bunch of the larvae.
Yeah.
Did you end up eating those?
No.
No.
Wow.
Well,
actually, I don't know what happened.
Well, the
I left
deal
that
is
for the man to take care of.
then he ate it. Okay, 7:23 in the morning because he's an Army guy. He's the Air Force. No, he's a Red Horse guy, right?
Yeah, he's both Army and Air.
Okay, so yeah, they teach him how to eat that stuff, in a pinch. Anyway, 7:23 in the morning. Maybe something like that will work. But $3 million coming in to protect the coral reefs, and I don't know how they intend to. They're just going to throw money at it or something like that, as well as help deal with invasive species. More in that story in a little bit. I did get this from our friend Valerie Maigi down at Big Navy. Says they're going to be participating in the exercise Citadel Pacific 2021 annual force protection exercise is designed to enhance the readiness and capability of Navy security forces to respond to internal or external threats on board installation. CP21 is not in response to any specific threat, but a regularly scheduled exercise. Usually this means that there's going to be delays getting into the main gate and the back gate to Big Navy at Anderson Air Force Base because it's one of the few times of the year. And I think many of the security officers at Big Navy appreciate this time. This is that time of the year where they do a lot more body cavity searches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it slows the process down for getting in. But, depending on who's doing it, could be fun for everybody.
Could be.
The part of the exercise, the giant voice public address systems at NBG will be activated. Residents in surrounding areas will hear exercise announcements regarding force protection conditions throughout the week. The use of the giant voice system adds realism to the exercise. So when you hear something hinky, we haven't been attacked by the Chinese or the Norks. It's just an exercise. Periodic training exercises support security force readiness and are critical to developing the skills needed to support operational missions throughout the region to ensure a stable, free, and open Indo-Pacific. Mana, now I'm asking you because you do tend to go to the base from time to time. Does this mean there will be a problem if I wanted to take this weekend to get my air fryer on base as a result of this exercise?
You might find some empty shells, maybe.
Empty? Oh, empty shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it because of the thing?
Yeah.
7:25. Jerry Roberts in the studio. How you doing there, Jerry Roberts?
Hey, good.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. You're a radio guy. This might be of interest to you.
Someone once said that, but I'm not.
Number one format in the country. Were you listening when we were talking about this?
No.
No, you want to take a guess?
Number one format in the country.
Punk? Disco? No.
Let me see.
Man.
Rap.
No.
Country.
No. Country is number one.
I was going to say country, and I was out of that maybe.
Yeah, the closest thing to rap is top 40, and even there, because there's a couple of different versions of it, where you've got the rhythmic and then you've got the more dancing material. But even that, rounding out the bottom, and at the absolute bottom, this is interesting to me, is classic rock.
Really?
Really, yeah. And one of the reasons, I think, maybe because, number one, they're not making any new classic rock songs, although Journey's got an interesting new song out these days that I'm kind of partial to. ABBA's got a new album out, though ABBA not necessarily a classic rock figure of, format artist, but the idea is that some of these older artists are coming back and doing stuff, but to the degree that classic rock listeners perhaps are just dying off in significant numbers, there's just no room, I think, anymore for those kind of formats. Top formats include country, news talk, religion, and contemporary Christian, followed by variety. That's what people are listening to when they're listening to the radio. That's a little bit of inside radio stuff. I think one of the other things that people say they spend a lot of time listening to is podcasts. Are you a podcast guy, Jerry Roberts?
A little bit.
A little bit. Anybody you listen to regularly? Is there anybody you look at the phone and go, "Okay, great, another podcast from so and so"?
I used to. There was a time when I was doing that. A lot of the podcast listening. I haven't for a while, but if somebody will turn me on to somebody and say, "You got to listen to this guy. Or listen to this woman." And he really has some good stuff to say. I listen for a few episodes and generally lose interest.
Like watching something on Netflix or Hulu, right?
You binge for it and then you walk away.
Really, we're really going to do 4 years worth of seasons on this. No, maybe especially after the first couple of seasons were the big winners. I don't know. There's a couple of guys. Paul Watson, I think his name is Paul Watson. That's how much I pay much attention. I generally will see him on Twitter, and if it looks interesting, I'll click and follow. But a guy that I find that I listen to more often than not and watch him more often than not every time is a guy named Russell Brand. Russell Brand.
Oh, yeah.
You might know My Best Friend's Wedding, or he was in that movie, right? I think.
Englishman.
The English guy.
Yeah.
And he plays in the movies kind of a buffoon.
He does.
But this guy is brilliant. I want to say that he's got multiple degrees and has some very, very unique capabilities to be able to take apart certain issues and throw them back together in a way which I like it because it makes the lefties seem to be some of the most absurd people on the planet. So if you get a chance, he's all over the places, the places where you will find some great podcasts. Be on the lookout for Russell Brand. Is the guy. 7:28 in the morning. Jerry Roberts is in with the Extra Point. Welcome to the Friday version. Make it good because it's got to last all the way till Monday.
I think this one might.
What you got? Brought to you by Guahan Insurance Services and the team over at First Hawaiian Bank.
Today, a look at reality through the words of those who said and wrote something worth putting between quotation marks. That's coming up next on the Extra Point.
Raise your glasses for a toast because First Hawaiian Bank now turns your meals into a reason to celebrate. Every dollar you spend on dining purchases, including fast food, earns you up to 3 times United miles. Simply use your First Hawaiian Bank United credit card and start reaping the most rewarding credit card experience on island. Terms and restrictions apply. Don't have a First Hawaiian Bank credit card? Visit any branch or FHB.com to apply today. With First Hawaiian Bank, it all starts with yes.
When's the last time you looked at your homeowner's insurance?
We buy a homeowner's policy and never give it another thought until something happens. Life brings changes, and our coverage needs can change. The smart thing to do is get the answers and level up our insurance to make sure we're totally protected.
That's the Insurance Extra Point. Get out there and make something good happen today by calling Guahan Insurance Services at 475-1162 or visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center in Tamuning.
You have a way of seeing reality. I have a way of seeing reality. Everybody seems to have their own way of seeing reality. Why is it that so many of us see the same thing, the same reality, so differently? Quotations today on the Extra Point. Novelist Iris Murdoch said, "We live in a fantasy world, a world of illusion. The great task in life is to find reality." Motivational speaker Les Brown. Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. I like those words. The world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless. Philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric, said, "Face reality as it is. Not as it was or as you wish it to be." The belief that one's own view of reality is the only reality is the most dangerous of all delusions. Therapist Paul Watzlawick. Commentator Ben Shapiro said, "Freedom of speech and thought matters, especially when it is speech and thought with which we disagree. The moment the majority decides to destroy people for engaging in thought it dislikes, thought crime becomes a reality. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality." Author and speaker Earl Nightingale. Seneca, Roman statesman, said, "There are more things to alarm us than to harm us, and we suffer more often in apprehension than reality." Author Alex Haley. Either you deal with what is the reality, or you can be sure that the reality is going to deal with you. Inventor Ken Hakuta, a.k.a. Dr. Fad. People will try to tell you that all the great opportunities have been snapped up. In reality, the world changes every second, blowing new opportunities in all directions, including yours. I don't know who said this, but I secretly think reality exists so people on social media can argue about it. Oh, like that. Science fiction writer Philip Dick said, "Strange how paranoia can link up with reality now and then." Historian Timothy D. Snyder, "Very often when leaders repeat things over and over, they are preparing you for when that meme actually emerges in reality." So many people live within unhappy circumstances and yet will not take the initiative to change their situation because they are conditioned to a life of security, conformity, and conservation, all of which may appear to give one peace of mind. But in reality, nothing is more damaging to the adventurous spirit. Christopher McCandless, adventurer and nomad. Singer Lauryn Hill said, "Reality is easy. It's deception that's the hard work." Ooh. Dr. Seuss, "You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams." Author Wayne Dyer said, "Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change." Unknown, don't know who said this. Who put a stop payment on my reality check? Author Robert Brault, he said, "Let me put it this way. Nothing ever brings me back to reality that doesn't remind me why I left." And he also said, "If I do not accept reality, it is because I have looked behind the curtain and have seen how they do it." And finally, journalist Carl Bernstein, he of Watergate coverage fame, "The lowest form of popular culture, lack of information, misinformation, disinformation, and a contempt for the truth or the reality of most people's lives has overrun journalism. Today, ordinary Americans are being stuffed with garbage, unquote. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show, Guahan Insurance Services, and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
Jerry Roberts says 7:34 in the morning, and in previous life he had the opportunity to do morning radio while a guy named Jimmy Carter was the president of the United States of America.
I remember him well.
Okay. That must have been. That must have been just a golden time to do radio with the peanut president in there and his brother Billy.
Interest rates were like 24% or something like that. But you got 18% with your passbook at the bank.
So back in those days,
you're only down 6. We all thought it was pretty good.
Crazy times. Interesting guy. Now, the last time Jimmy Carter had a birthday, I played a bit from Saturday Night Live, where he was talking a kid down from taking some kind of drugs, and it was maybe one of the coolest things that they did while they were still a funny television show. And I'm upset because I can't play it this morning, because when I played it last time, I got hit by the YouTube police.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we got nicked for 30 days. I think it was a little bit longer. I couldn't play anything. I couldn't even go to YouTube back in those days. Anyway, so happy birthday, Jimmy Carter. Is 97 years old. Yeah,
he's still helping to build houses for Habitat for Humanity.
Yep.
And doing lots of good stuff. He's a good man.
Interesting, though, and the question that I've got, somebody will come up with the answer. Probably Boris Herslet is listening, going, "Oh yeah, I can figure this out." Do you suppose he might be the longest-lived president of the United States at 97?
That's a really good question. Might be.
Normally see him living that long. How old was George Bush when he had passed on? Yeah.
93.
Anyway, ponder. Somebody's going to look that up. Jimmy Carter, 97 years of age. Don McLean, the day the music died, turned 76 years old. Sting is 70. Chubby Checker is 80. Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac is 72. And Tommy Lee from Motley Crue is 59 years old. Known for being the guy in Motley Crue, but also known for Pamela Anderson.
Oh yeah, I was going to say something else.
Hanging out with the videos with Pam Anderson on the boat. Remember that was one of the original things that broke the internet, I think, back in the day. Anyway, so you got that. If you're Gwen Stefani, by the way.
Oh yeah,
and 52 years old. Love her. And then we go into some things that you can celebrate. International Day of Older Persons. Look at my eyes. Not looking at Jerry. Not looking at Jerry. Vegan Baking Day.
Are you like adding a bunch of stuff in there for me today? Older people and vegans?
No.
I feel just
soft taco day.
I feel appreciated today.
It's Pickle Day and Name Your Car Day. I'm waiting for somebody to volunteer the name of their automobile. Real Joe, what's the name of your Tonka car?
Ferrari.
But it's not. Turvette.
Yeah.
We used to have a car we called the Turvette back in the day.
Trunks in the back.
Jerry no, have you ever dated anybody that named their car? Wasn't that just the weirdest thing in the whole wide world? Yep. Mana Silva Tyra, name for the car.
It's always Bessie. Come on, Bessie.
Come on, you can do it. Up the hill to Mom's house. You can make
any car. Whatever car you're driving.
So here's it. Now, we don't often bring up family stuff. Actually, we do all the time. But Shelly's got a car. Shelly's got the new car. I want to say the CHR, right? It's I forget what color it is. Anyway, so she's got a new car, but she still has the old car. Mm-hmm. She won't get rid of the old car. Yeah. She's like, I like this car. It's 20 years old, and she got it used, and it's a nice car. And I think one of the reasons why she didn't want to get rid of it, number one, she's got a personal affinity for it, but I think she's also replaced virtually every part inside the car for all intents and purposes.
It's a brand new car.
It's new from the inside out. You just don't want to get rid of something like that. Jerry Robertson, this morning's Extra Point, and a note here from all of my Palauan friends who are checking in this morning, saying, Ray, please don't forget to say happy anniversary, happy Independence Day to our family from Palau. Yes. Can you wish all of the people of Palau a happy independence? 27 years of independence in
How do you
that
say
island
Biba
nation.
in Palauan?
Biba. I don't know. I used to know better, before COVID. If this was any other time, right? If this was any other time, us and all of our sissies, Sonia and I and all of our sissies, Leo and Lay, and we'd all be at EPAL Beach Park. Sorry, Phil Flores, Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park. We'd be at EPAL Beach Park, and there would be a knockdown, just a huge thing. There would be every tent for every one of the villages in Palau. They'd have all of their mayors would be flying up, the president, vice president, all the guys that were running for president, vice president. They would all be here. We would all be eating stuffed crab. We would all be eating anything, all of the stuff that they bring out there for all of these things. And we have not had one in a couple of years now, and I'm upset about it because that was a fun event. I always had to sneak in my own beer for some reason. But having said that, happy 27th Independence Day to all of our brothers and sisters from Palau. 20 away from 8 o'clock in the morning. Montecillo Tyron now with a look at what's going on in news and headlines here on Guam. It's being brought to you by Auntie Lolita Camet at Remax Diamond Realty. You can reach out to her and get you into some great real estate deals. 688-6743. Top End Pest Control 487-5657 is the telephone number to get them to come by the house and wipe out the varmints. And it's the first Friday in October. What that mean? Let's get the camera on me. Let's do that. Let's bring it. That means Chicken Fries Friday. I love BK Chicken Fries. Got something special for you at the drive-thru at Burger King. It's 7:40. Havamana. What happened?
There was another COVID-related fatality that was reported yesterday, the 197th. It was a 79-year-old man who was said to be fully vaccinated but did have underlying health conditions. Now, also, there are 58 people in the hospital, 14 in intensive care with 8 on ventilators. The JIC report also has 144 new cases of COVID-19 out of 1,295 people who were tested on Wednesday. And some relief coming from the Army Reserve. They sent 15 nurses who will be working to support critical care patients at the Guam Memorial Hospital. Much relief as their nurses are strained with the number of COVID cases that continue to rise. They will be working in the emergency room and in ICU at least until the end of October. Also, booster shots are being made available for the Pfizer vaccine. Those who are eligible include those who are 65 and up, people with underlying health conditions, and healthcare and frontline workers. Also, from the naval base is announcing that they're participating in an anti-terrorism force protection exercise that will run all the way until the end of next week. It's the annual force protection exercise designed to enhance the readiness and capability of naval security forces to respond to internal or external threats on board installations. And this, again, will run all the way until October 8th. And those are your headlines right here on The Point.
I was just kidding about the body cavity searches. I mean, no, I'm serious. I was just kidding. I mean, you can ask for one, I think, when you go through. But otherwise, that was just kind of a joke because, it's Navy. Where are we now? 7:41. I get. You okay there? Real joke. Oh, my Haiti buddies. All right. 7:41. Before we get into anything else, can I give you a piece of news and information? I already have the video. It started floating around the other night.
Is that
the Toves
Zoom?
video, the Toves Zoom video? We need to.
Oh,
be
yeah.
Oh yeah. Now notice I'm only using a last name. I'm not using the guy's whole name, right? Because I'm classy that way. But just FYI, I've already got the Toves digging for nose gold video. If you've got something new from your Zoom, then I'd like to get that. There are people that are breaking into study groups, looking and pondering that thing frame by frame by frame to see if he eats it, or to what degree, is he investigating it? Is he actually looking at the thing? It looks like it could come from the surface of the moon.
Exploratory.
The moon is made of cheese. I have nose cheese.
Somebody needs to resurface and save this poor guy and resurface Tyrone's video in his
the
DVDs.
Tyrone video, DVDs.
Save the guy.
You better call Tyrone. And so somebody sent me this meme because they thought it was funny, and it is. Here it is. This is what we look like at our first Zoom meeting. We got the background lined up. We're wearing a suit and tie. And by the time it's all over, it's, hey, you kids, get off my yard. Just standing there with my wife beater, all of that. That's funny. Now, the same meme came from somebody that sent me this, Planet Boy. Plain Boy sent me this, and I'd seen this on Twitter last night because it's all starting to happen now. A lot of these vax mandates are going into effect. It's the first day of the month here, last day of the month there, and everybody going, okay, well, I guess this is it. It's gut check time, ladies and gentlemen. And somebody pointed out, well, that went pretty fast, from giving us free Krispy Kreme screamed it. You're fired. You're fired. Yeah, you're not frontliners, real heroes. You know who the real heroes are? The real heroes. You're not a real hero. Get out of here. And this is going to happen here on Guam, guys. It's gonna happen here on Guam. I got a note from a buddy who's been getting called into the boss's office today. I'm not going to give him his name. He's getting called into the boss today, and I think the boss is going to be in a position where he has to tell this employee he has to get vaccinated or he has to leave the company, because coming in a couple of days is going to be the ruling, and it's one of these companies that has how do I want to say this without narrowing it down? I don't know. There's a lot of companies that will match this scenario. They got a federal ticket. They got money coming in from Uncle Fed. Biden said, you got people working for you, a company this big, you got a federal ticket. Everybody got to be vaccinated, no negotiations, no testing. And so it is possible here that we might have a lot of guys, construction industry dudes, a lot of expertise in the construction industry for sure going to be targeted here on Guam. And what is going to be happening with them? Fortunately, there's a lot of business out there in the construction trades if you can meet up with some of that. Tell you what, 7:45, when we return, Real Joe, remind me, because you know how my brain gets. When we return, job opportunities that are out there that guys like me and Joe might be able to fake it till we make it. Start your day with Burger King's new Breakfast Bacon King. Wow, crispy bacon and sausage, eggs and American cheese with a buttery maple spread on a warm brioche bun. Top this off with our crispy hash browns and a hot brewed cafe. Treat yourself like the king you are. Enjoy the new Breakfast Bacon King. Served every day during breakfast hours, 6:30 to 10:30. Please wear your mask and practice social distancing. BK Tumon Bay, Agutnia, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. BK your way.
Becoming a homeowner can be a scary process, but it doesn't have to be, especially if you have the right guidance. Break through your fears and go to a real estate professional that will ensure a higher chance of success. That person is Lolita Cammett of RE/MAX Diamond Realty. Lolita also specializes in commercial leasing, land sales, local residential sales leasing, and military and corporate relocation. Don't be afraid. Call Lolita Cammett from RE/MAX Diamond Realty at 688-6743. That's 688-6743.
Okay, this doesn't happen very often, but I'm going to admit it. Stephen, you're making me feel stupid. Remember I was talking about the bats up in Saipan?
Oh, yeah,
I said bring them down and maybe they'll eat the rhinoceros beetles.
Yeah.
Stephen says, Ray, they're fruit bats.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently they're called fruit bats for a reason. They eat fruit.
Oh.
But do they eat fruit of the womb?
Okay, I'm not done being wrong. I'm not done being wrong. I feel like I have to fight the teacher on this. But coconut's a fruit.
Yeah, let's negotiate.
So if they eat the coconut rhinoceros beetle, are they not eating something that has got coconut in it? Will they not have an affinity to I'm just saying, Stephen, come on. Can you try it? Can you get a coconut rhinoceros beetle or a larva and stick it in front of one of these fruit bats from up in Tinian and say, come on, eat it, boy, eat it. Come on. It's good. You like it. Just saying. 7:47 in the morning. 888-8255-888-TALK. Portions of the program already brought to you by KFC. And I was going to say already because I already gave KFC a plug. Did I not say what I had for dinner last night? Did I not tell you that I took my chicken wings and got beer and sat in the parking lot at Teray and watched the sunset? Feed my chicken bones to the cat there. I did. And so the next time that you're hungry for about 6 pieces, that's the place to go. I also had that with a twister, fried chicken twister. Because it's my belief that might be a low-carb meal. I don't know for sure. I haven't actually looked it up, but I figure it's not coming in a couple of pieces of bread, so it might work out that way. You can do the very same thing, and you can go and pick it up, or they'll bring it to you. Call 300-FAST at KFC. Top End Pest Control is who you call for all your pest control needs. Got a problem with roaches, ants, spiders, rodents, fleas, ticks, termites? No problem. They do it all. Top End Pest Control is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business and HubZone certified. Serving Guam since 2012. Call them today for a quote, 487-5657, or email topendpest@gmail.com. Check them out on Facebook at Top End Pest Control and give them a like. Top End Pest Control for all your pest control needs. 7:48. You know what I need now? Send me on the meme machine, 671-988-5874. I need you to send me pictures of fruit bats of some kind or another. Isn't there one where there's this fruit bat, and it's all clawing over this woman's?
Oh, yeah.
See if you can find that.
It'll put hair on your chest.
988-5874 in traffic here this morning as we're making our way to Big Navy, in particular because of the exercise that they're getting ready for. Let me see if I can find any traffic that is going to be slowing you down. Wait a second. Hold on. Central looks worse than Big Navy in Suma. Apparently, the line for the body cavity searches is going rather smoothly there. That's good. Let me see. Getting into the downtown Agutnia area, mostly lousy on Route 8. Headed in. All right, southbound traffic right around the Payless and Cars Plus is running a little bit slow. Looks like it's moving slow just before you get to the turn over by Poke Fry and the venue. So watch out for that. Obviously, you got some traffic in both ends at the Harvest drop-off point for those guys. Isn't it Friday? Are they doing 5 day a week, or is it just people just got nothing better to do than drive around Harvest? Could be.
They haven't figured out their traffic plan yet.
That's spilling out onto Roy T. Demion. Traffic in Ipalpao getting to on Marine Corps Drive, getting to Waising Song. Expect some delays through their intersection traffic all the way to 1 and 3 and 1. And the Micronesia Mall going to be fairly busy there right now. Also busy this afternoon as there's going to be a protest starting about 4 o'clock. So watch out for that, or be there for that. If you've got some protesting that you'd like to do, you can wear a mask if you want to. But don't you want them to see that it's you that's protesting them and their lousy decisions? Just saying. 10 away from 7 o'clock in the morning. That's your Right Now traffic on the point.
Fall in love with your new home this season by shopping Furniture Kathy Style's unbelievable deals. We've brought in new items and restocked on our best sellers to help you get your home ready for the holiday. We offer free design consultation and financing with up to 12 months of zero interest for you to get what you want and what you need for your home today. Follow us on social media, visit our website at FurnitureKathyStyle.com, or call us at 300-9590 for more information. If you're not buying from us, you're paying too much.
Here at Guam Auto Spot, we have the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars. Like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage, as low as $127 per paycheck, zero down. Or this 2021 Buick Encore, as low as $237 per paycheck, zero down for 72 months. Call 478-AUTO to schedule a test drive or get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com.
It's funny, but I don't really understand that. Why's the music so loud today? Is that just you? Okay, are your headphones working, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You're doing a good job, Joe.
Thanks, Mana.
Okay. Just feel like I gotta talk loud all the time. I don't know. Is everything okay? Yeah, he said. Yeah, it is your bad. Post Canteen says, "Yep, this is definitely a tie your shoe day." Now, it sounds like it could be one of those military references, and having never had the privilege of service, I don't know what it is. And by the way, Post Canteen, what's the jackpot up to? I wasn't paying attention last week. Did we get a winner up at the VFW?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
It's got to be in the millions of dollars by now for everybody. And Jerome McDonald watching. I got to do a shout to Alex Friedman, who is watching from Colorado. You might recall the state somewhere in the middle of the country, right, Real Joe?
Yes, sir.
Got you. And let me see.
Mountain High.
Tunduk out in another place where they get high, out in Washington State, says party time Friday. Smoke and drink all weekend long. Like the way you think. Good plan. Good arrangements there. Okay, everybody, enjoy your day and weekend and be safe out there. Me have to go now. Peace out, says Tunduk. Already getting started on an early start on the Friday. It's 7:52 in the morning. Is this my very close, very dear personal friend?
It is, sir.
Frank Bloss Jr. on the line. Good morning, Daru.
Good morning, Ray.
How you doing there?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad.
Doing good.
I'm glad. Listen, I know how busy it's been over at the legislature, and I was kind of looking for an update on anything that's been taking place over there that you personally are interested in.
Well, right now we're discussing the financing for the healthcare. I forgot what they call it. The healthcare facility that the government would like to build. It's just that in the conversations, they're far from providing any meaningful plan that we can move on. That I feel that we can move on a healthcare facility as large as she wants to build it. I think that if we scale it down and we address the immediate concern, which is the hospital, then I'm for that. But for us to be able to put money so that we can build, it's not to say that it's a good idea, it's a grand idea, but is this an idea that first off that we can afford right now? And I don't think so. That's what we're working on.
There's a timing thing that we've got to look at, and sitting on $553 million and already sequestering $300 million of that for a project that by any account we won't even have it off a design phase for another 2 or 3 years. In the meantime, there is a pressing need now being expressed by many in the business community and among the unemployed that more has to be done to keep the economy going right now.
No, and I agree with you. I totally agree with you, and which is why, I had pressed in my questioning of the administration, during the committee of the whole, of the funding of this money, and what I got is what we got was we're still waiting on guidance from Treasury. Well, Treasury has provided guidance, and so far preliminarily, is that no, it can't be used for something like this.
Hell! Even if it's preliminary, then let's move and do something positive and productive with it. Are we making money on the interest or something?
No, I don't know. I don't, whether it's the interest or the service fees, who knows? But the same thing, right?
No. Somebody should know, Frank. Frank, somebody should know.
I know. No. Okay, obviously, there should be money being made off the service fee. What I'm getting to, Ray, is that there's no matter what, there's $300 million that the community could certainly use. You've got the businesses that are still flailing. They're going to be flailing. Especially for 60% of our economy is not going to get back on track into 2020, end of 2022, early 2023. That again now is still a what do you call it, a moving target. You've still got over 10,000 people who don't have jobs. There are many priorities that this community suffered over the last 16, 17 months through lockdowns and shortened hours and the like. I'm working on a piece of legislation just in the recently completed All Rise Act. There was a group of manumco, of elderly individuals who, if you can recall, there was a requirement that that you needed to submit tax returns in order to become eligible. Where there's a group of individuals, some elderly, that because they're on Social Security and not making that much money, they're not required to file tax returns.
Right.
So because they weren't required to file tax returns, that made them ineligible for the All Rise Act. And if they couldn't get the All Rise Act, they weren't eligible. The $800 that was given to individuals wasn't available to them.
Now, about how many? Do we have any idea on how large this class is? And then go back to Lou and say you're going to have to reopen the eligibility requirements or reopen the application process for this specific group of people because they were left out of it. And then we're going to have to find the money to pay for it. But getting back to another point that needs to be brought up and needs to be made clear here, while we have to look for those businesses that are at the edge of bankruptcy right now, and there's probably a lot more than anybody think. Well, we got to think about the 8,000 to 10,000 people that are either unemployed or underemployed. Among the other issues are people that are working are having a tougher time of it because the price of gasoline is going to go up before the day is over. Mark my words. We've seen the price of just groceries, meats, commodities in this town go through the roof. And with no end in sight, we already know that most of the fuel surcharges and container surcharges in the shipping game are with us to stay. What are we doing here to help protect the people of Guam from these rising prices? Not everybody works for the government of Guam, and not everybody is drawing that protected salary.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think that the $300 million that we've held that we're still continuing to hold for this project can be used in the meantime. Can be used by the community. You're going to get your money back in as far as getting your taxes on the spend of that $300 million. But to hold it there, to say that you're going to see, that it's probably not going to be used for the next 2-3 years. Many businesses aren't going to be around in the next 2-3 years if we keep this up.
I don't know, and who knows where your precious 5%, your 5% of the business privilege tax is going to come from businesses that aren't paying it anymore.
And what I've been saying is, 5% of zero is zero. Okay,
and naturally,
if the business is not alive. If the business isn't open, you're not going to get 5%. You're not going to even get 3% if you wanted to be generous about it, or you want to help them out. It's still going to be zero. The problem is you got to keep their doors open. You got to keep people employed. The government runs on what the business is able to make. Okay, the business makes money. Government they pay taxes. Government will be able to collect on this. They can continue to survive. It's not the other way around.
Then here, I'll give you another point that's worth bringing up here just before Fox News, is that they're talking in Washington, D.C. about some significant spend that they are going to be taking out of, quote, the most richest of the American citizens. And there's going to be, and among the big companies that haven't been paying their fair share, and it's a typical Democratic, it's in their blind spot, businesses don't pay taxes, business collect taxes. If you think the prices are lousy now, just wait until some of this new Green Deal stuff gets spun up here. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong at all. You're absolutely. I'm watching that very intently because a lot of even some of the discussions today about what's happening on in Washington D.C. It's like, okay, guys, this is what we intend to get. This is what we plan to get. My concern is, well, who's paying for all of this?
Well, the businesses are going to pay. It's not going to cost you anything. They're all running around with that, what is this, the white power symbol? Is that what Nancy Pelosi is saying? Zero is what you're going to pay. We will be paying for all kinds of new prices on all kinds of previously inexpensive commodities because Joe Biden and Ocasio-Cortez think it would be a good idea to start referring to daycare as part of our infrastructure.
Because, what they're not telling you is, thank God. Okay, God, thank you. I'm not going to pay an increase in tax. But guess what? Now the price of milk's going to go up about $1 more.
Yep, I got you. Just after 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's going to be displaced.
Do me a favor, Frank. I might want to talk to you a little bit more in the next hour of other activities besides this, because as a member of the Republican Party, I'd like to find out just how much support you're willing to give to Congressman Mike St. Nicholas in his bid to evict Lou. Can we talk about that in the next hour?
What time? It depends on what time.
Give me a call after the news.
Got it.
Right. Thanks, bro. 8:01. Time for Fox News on the point.
That were facing losing their jobs for not getting vaccinated against COVID-19 have gotten the shot. That cuts the number of workers facing termination from 593 to 320. A spokeswoman says that shows the policy of requiring vaccinations is working. Wall Street, the Dow sank 546 points. America is listening to Fox News.
Great news, Guam! Chili's 2 for Dining is back. Enjoy a full-on meal deal made for 2 for just $35. Start with 2 Coca-Cola beverages, an appetizer to share, and 2 mouth-watering entrees like the sizzling personal fajitas, the mouth-watering honey chipotle steak and shrimp, or Chili's world-famous fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Available for a limited time. Dine in today or call 648-7377 to place to-go orders. Chili's is located on the 2nd floor of Tumon Sands Plaza. Chili's. Savor the moment.
Hafaday, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apo.com.
Facebook executives getting an earful from lawmakers as they testify about Instagram's impact on teenagers.
Instagram, owned by Facebook, has conducted internal research that revealed a negative impact on the mental health of teens, according to the Wall Street Journal. Democratic Senator Ed Markey compared Instagram to a first cigarette.
And to get teens hooked early, exploiting the peer pressure of popularity.
Antigone Davis is global head of safety at Facebook.
Our products actually add value
and offer enriched children's lives.
GOP Senator Josh Hawley has introduced legislation allowing people to sue social media companies for harms to children. Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
As many teens in the U.S. were learning remotely last year, a new survey from the FDA and CDC finds there was a big drop in teen vaping. According to the survey, 11% of high school students said they vape regularly, down from nearly 20% last year. But government officials urge caution in comparing the numbers to prior years due to differences in how the results were gathered. There's a mixed reading on the job market in the latest report.
The number of new claims for unemployment benefits rose last week by 11,000 to 362,000. Economists were expecting a decline. New claims rose earlier this month, attributed to disruptions caused by Hurricane Ida and accounting issues in California. Continuing claims declined to 2.8 million. Any improvement in that number reflects people who went back to work and people whose benefits expired. This report is the first after extended and enhanced unemployment benefits ended in all states. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
The Commerce Department says the U.S. economy expanded at a 6.7 annual percentage rate from April through June. I'm Lee Silasara, and this is Fox News.
Hafude, konnichiwa,
Patois, ciao. Enter for a chance to win the 76 Circle K World Cuisine Giveaway. Be one of 3 lucky winners to win a passport of free food from around the world at over 15 different local restaurants. Just stop by any 76 Circle K, purchase $35 or more in fuel to get an entry form. Drive by today and taste the world with 76 Circle K's World Cuisine Giveaway. Visit 76circlekguam.com for more details. Some conditions apply. Circle K, take it easy.
Leah Dunca from Security Title here with a little information about trusts. A trust is a legal entity capable of owning property. It can protect property from issues such as lawsuits or divorce and can be used to distribute property and avoid probate. Many trusts start as revocable but become irrevocable when the initial trustees die. Work with your estate planning attorney to see if a trust is a good fit for your family property. Call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Choosing health insurance for my family is difficult. I need to know our health insurance will protect us now and in the future. Take Care members have access to the island's largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs, and a high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers, including the convenient one-stop FHP Health Center and urgent care. My family choose Take Care. Your family should also consider choosing Take Care. Call 671-647-3526 for more information. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, it's easy, and it's secure. Visit nambo.com for more information.
There have now been 197 COVID-related fatalities. That's making the headlines this morning. Another COVID-related fatality was reported yesterday. This one, a 76-year-old man was said to be fully vaccinated but had underlying health conditions. There remains 58 people in the hospital, 14 in intensive care, 8 on ventilators. Meanwhile, the JIC report this morning has 144 new cases of COVID out of 1,295 tests performed on Wednesday. Meanwhile, there's some relief to the nurses at the Guam Memorial Hospital who've seen an increased number of COVID admissions. The Army Reserve sending support with 15 nurses who will work in critical support areas or critical patient care. In particular, they'll be in the emergency room and ICU. They're scheduled to be here at least until the end of October. Also, booster shots are being made available at vaccination clinics offering the Pfizer vaccine to those who are 65 and up, people with underlying health conditions, healthcare workers, as well as frontline workers. You are asked to make an appointment via Eventbrite if you're interested in taking that booster shot. Some walk-ins are being accepted. Also, the vaccinations being made available to expectant mothers. The CDC has issued an official health advisory stating that expectant mothers are at increased risk of severe illness, death, or pregnancy complications. Well, more news right after this.
Go green, go solar, and save big with Nambo Insurance. When you power up your home with solar panels, Nambo Insurance will pay up to $350 toward your power bill. With Nambo, you can enjoy great savings while going green and helping to save Guam's environment. At Nambo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Nambo.com or call 477-9754 for details. Nambo Insurance, proudly serving Guam for over 50 years.
One of the two men charged in a shooting last month in Dededo has pleaded not guilty in the Superior Court. Jensen DeVell is charged with attempted murder and other charges. He was arrested along with Justin Duenas in that shooting. The Guam Daily Post reports that both have waived their rights to a speedy trial. Meanwhile, a federal court judge has denied the request by former Gura attorney Mark Smith in a motion to dismiss his fraud case. Smith is the former attorney for Gura. Faces charges of wire fraud and money laundering in connection with the rental payments that he received under the Section 8 housing program. He's alleged to have worked to hide the fact that he was the owner of some properties that were receiving Section 8 rentals. Jury selection in his trial is now scheduled for October 19th. Also, another $5 million is out of rev and tax after they've processed 2,096 tax returns. It covers it'll be refunds paid out for those who filed their returns on or before June 7th of this year. And there might be some increased activity on the naval base. They announced that it will be participating in an annual anti-terrorism force protection exercise. The Citadel Pacific 2021 will run through the end of next week. The exercise is designed to enhance the readiness and capability of the Navy security forces to respond to internal or external threats on board. The exercise CP21 is a regularly scheduled event, and it shouldn't affect any base operations, but you might want to know that there might be some traffic in and out around the base. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Here's Ray with your weather.
Body cavity search, just saying. What a great way to start off your weekend, huh? How about that? 10 after 8 o'clock in the morning, what is it, weather? Am I supposed to be doing weather? The sound of the Mariana fruit bat as recorded in 1935. There's a picture of some people in 1935 holding pictures of Mariana's fruit bats. Actually, there are people that are alive today that knew these people here. Real Joe, tell me about the people in this photograph.
That's my grandfather and my grandmother, Adolph Scambuluri and Dorothea Garrido Scambuluri.
Now,
right before they ate those.
Yes. Look what we've got. Now, where did you know where the picture was taken? Was that
Agana Heights? Beverly Hills of Guam.
The Beverly Hills of Guam. So Agana Heights, and those are, I'm assuming, local fruit bats that they caught. They're just flying around.
That's near Uncle Carl's house.
Is it?
Yeah.
So back in the olden days, and you know, I wish he was still around. In fact, I wish all of my favorite Scambies were still around. It was a best storytelling family on Guam, next to Uncle Robert. But anyway, so you get these guys out there, and back in the olden days, there was only one way to catch these flying fruit bats, and as you get a fishing rod and you put a hook on it, you just keep casting until you catch one.
What?
And so imagine how difficult it must have been for them to be able to catch not just one, but two in order to enjoy. It was a different time then, huh, Real Joe?
Yeah,
get the phone. That's probably Frank Bloss.
Okay.
He's going to ask answer awkward questions about, hey, what do you think about Mike St. Nicholas running for public office? Governor, as a matter of fact, high surf advisory and high risk of rip currents through noon Sunday along west and north facing reefs. You know the spots. Be careful. Partly cloudy today. Isolated showers this morning, and then we can expect mostly cloudy and scattered showers this afternoon. Please don't let it be a wet sunset. Isolated thunderstorms could be in the forecast as well. Heat index today 90 degrees. Sunrise was at 10 after 6. Sunset is going to be at 10 after 6 as well. Into the weekend, the forecast just for tomorrow. I think they don't want to do a long-range one for Sunday. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers, and isolated thunderstorms. If you see the sun, go and catch it with your fruit bat, rot and reel. It's 8:12. Ray Gibson Show continues in a sec.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking on the future. Their services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
If you're a veteran and have upper extremity and hand problems that's interfering with daily function, Have Dr. Jerome Landstrom, board-certified hand surgeon and combat veteran experienced in combat and civilian traumatic injuries, treat your injuries and hand impairments to improve the use of your hands in your activities of daily living. Call 671-646-HAND or visit his website at www.pacifichandsurgery.com. Hava, 813 Ray Gibson Show brought to you by the guys over at Take Care with their high-quality health plans and services supported by a global network of providers. They're your trusted partner for your health solutions. They say, thank you very much and welcome to the family of Guam employees and retirees. Take Care, Our Island, your health plan. Ray Gibson Show also being brought to you by the team over at APL American President Line's global presence with a local home.
The Ray Gibson Show. Any speaker, anytime. Morning talk that matters.
Better believe it. 14 after 8 o'clock in the morning. Line 1, is that Frank again? It is Frank. All right, Frank Bloss Jr. Hold over from the last hour. I appreciate you coming back because I know how busy you are. You know, you guys in the insurance business and in the legislature and stuff. You just got no time. No time.
Boy, I tell you, sometimes I look at it and it's like, okay, where did the day go?
You know what? When they're bad days, that's a really good feeling. Anyway, so just admiring the picture of Real Joe's grandparents, the Scambies, holding some fruit bat from a long, long time ago. When was the last time you had some?
About 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah. How'd you wrangle that?
Well, Palau.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go. That's all I had to say. Former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez down in Palau right now. They're celebrating today, in fact, and you can get some votes. I'll even give you a position where you can get votes. Go ahead and congratulate our Palauan brothers and sisters on the 27th anniversary of their independence. It's today.
Well, yeah. Congratulations. I remember those days really well. You know, as a task force agent, DEA, and having to work around that transition from the trust territories into the independence,
right?
In trying to enforce the laws of the United States, with regards to drug enforcement. That's all other story too.
Oh my God! Yeah, one of these days that's worth telling. Frank was in once upon a time used to carry a gun and a badge, and him and our other classmate Eddie Santos and a whole bunch of other guys went down to do some criminal interdiction activities in the nation of Palau. And in the very beginning, they had some drug issues down there. Could use some outside help. And there's a great picture somewhere of Frank and Eddie and a whole bunch of other guys standing on the wing of an airplane. And I don't know whether the picture was taken here on the way over or there on the way back. But it's one of my favorite.
That was actually there on the tarmac of the Palau International Airport.
What an adventure! What an adventure! Anyway, 8:16 in the morning, I'm curious from a couple of perspectives. And one of the big stories that we were talking about yesterday, and the very first phone call I got was from Congressman Mike Nicholas responding to our queries about what's real, what's not real. Are you truly considering a run for Adelup? Now you know how I feel about Mike Nicholas, and I think he's done an outstanding job in Congress. Some say better than anybody else that has been in Congress, but being the kind of politician that seems to have the same kind of admiration from young Democrats, certainly not a whole bunch of the older ones, and a whole bunch of Republicans that appreciate him for his fiscal conservancy. So I'm wondering about what among the Republicans, what people think about the possibility that he could be the guy that evicts Lulian Guerrero from Adelup.
Well, there hasn't been any discussions that I've had with any of my colleagues or any of the Republicans over the last 24, 48 hours. Obviously, and the only discussions we've had is the maneuvering that's going on in the legislature with certain bills. But that said, I've had and I continue to have the opportunity to work with Mike Nicholas as our representative, and he and I, of course, we may differ in opinion in some things. However, at the end of the day, it's getting the work done, and we in a couple occasions, and in occasions I've been able to work with Mike, we've been able to put our partisanship aside and work towards what's best for the people of Guam. in his announcement. I tell you, that's nothing to take lightly. That's some very serious consideration that needs to go on when you're running for any office, and most especially, obviously, for the highest office in the land. And so, I'm sure he continues to have the discussions, and he's, like me, the frustrations in some of the policies or some of the ways that
well, he had expressed the same issues that you did in the last hour. He's upset because there's all this money sitting over at the hands in the envelope in the desk over at Adeloop that we ought to be able to use for present activities, and he's upset because, number one, we haven't seen a plan. What we do know of the plan is that you want to take almost more than half of it and put it aside instead of using that for what it was really intended for, and that is to rescue the people in the economy of Guam.
I mean, I tell you, Ray, it becomes very difficult. If you can recall, the congressman and I were working in tandem with issues with regard to the monies available through the Small Business Administration and how slow it's getting out into certain sections of the economy. Granted, they've upped and they've been aggressive in their restaurant rescue plan. But the EIDL and the other programs that SBA has. So we've been working in tandem, and that's not just endemic for Guam, that's nationwide.
Yeah.
And so when in one hand, when we're trying to get SBA to move on releasing the money that has been in their accounts, for months and months and months, it makes it difficult to say, here in Guam we really need it when, all they have to do is turn and look and says, well, you still got about $500 million sitting over there. Why haven't you guys used it?
Exactly. If you're not going to use it, send it back because there's other places that need it more.
Yeah, and granted, that the congressman and I, in our capacities, we can't dip into that pot, because that there's that stay away order. It's only mine, and I'm the only one that can say where it goes. That said, we on a regular basis, both Mike and I have said, Madam Governor, please, there's this money that's sitting there. And there are people that are out there, scrambling to try to make sure they can continue to put a roof over their head or food on their table. And now with everything that's going up, it's just making it even more harder. In the meantime, man, can we please move? And I hate to say this, but when somebody's getting a paycheck and doesn't have to worry about that, then the worries of other individuals who don't get paychecks, then it really doesn't become a priority. Let me use this money for it's like, let me use this money for other things. I'm like, no, Governor, please, right now, this is where our problem is at. Our problem right now is our economy is failing.
Right.
Our economy is in the brink of disaster. It's disastrous right now.
Well, I'm getting a note here. I'm getting a note on Facebook Live and a question from Post Canteen, that's VFW. Do you have any solutions to the nonprofit businesses that don't qualify for most of these GovGuam grants? And a point has to be made here is that, yeah, you've got the public sector, you've got the private sector, and then you've got the nonprofit sector, and that survives based on the generosity of the other two sectors, and it's been a tough time for them as well.
And I tell you, a lot of these nonprofits, and I appreciate that their call, because you're right, a lot of the nonprofits take on the responsibilities to do some of the services that are not being basically provided by the government, or may not be as profitable for a business to take on. So, but it's a service that's needed in the community, and so they carry that load. Mm-hmm. And so they're right. There are many other issues. There are many other sectors of our economy that are not eligible, whether it be for the current grants that are provided out of GIDA or the grants that are provided through SBA or DOI or whatnot. And the last time I checked is that the flexibility and the reason why the ARP money was provided is so that we can fill those gaps. So that these areas where they can't receive money, and you can create new programs so that you can address the concerns, the issues, the needs of these organizations, such as the nonprofit.
Well, and it wasn't that long ago, or was it, that there was that secret meeting that took place between members of the legislature and the government? At least it's certainly not a noticed meeting, but at any rate, and an opportunity for the legislature to say, here's where we'd like to see some of that money go, and still nothing like a plan based on any of the suggestions by the legislature that I'm aware of today.
And even at that, after we had that meeting and granted, that we signed the resolution, asking the government to place the monies in certain areas. I sent a subsequent letter saying, Governor, maybe we don't need all this money going to government agencies. I mean, that's not maybe. We don't need this money to go to a lot of the government agencies.
Right.
We need to go back into the community. And I gave her my list as well of where we can put the monies. And it's back into nonprofit programs. It's back into helping businesses stay afloat, stay alive, keeping their doors open. Ray, I was just thinking before we got back on, I says, okay, it's Friday. Why does he want me to come back on there? It's Friday. You normally would use Friday to go ahead and cause trouble, stir the pot.
Well, that's why. I was waiting for the awkward silence because everybody knows you're running for governor. So I was waiting for that awkward pause when, hey, what do you think of Mike running for governor? I was waiting for you to go, Raymond.
No. Okay. I mean, I applaud the individual for Mike for considering to taking that step. That's obviously his. Mm-hmm. Obviously, us in the with the Republican Party. There's still some very serious considerations that are going on. And is it necessary right now, or should we come out with the announcements that we want to come out with? I don't. For me, right now, we've got an issue out there with businesses, with the community suffering. I think the last thing in the world.
But it's a hell of a platform to run on, and I think Mike recognizes that as well. That there's all these people that are expressing loud dissatisfaction these days. That's the platform to start running on 330 days out. If all of a sudden Adelup, all of it gets a flash of brilliance and goes, oh wait a second, so it's the economy? Oh, it's the economy, and starts throwing money at the economy as we want them to. Then we can say, well, where were you for 8-9 months when you had $550 million? Sitting around not doing anything productive? There's a lot of win. I think there's a whole lot of interesting strategic opportunities up to and including getting some of the old farts in the Republican Party back at the legislature. I know that people are talking about Eddie and people talking about Felix. I even throw Uncle Joe Ada back into the legislature because you got those three guys could be in the 37th legislature in a heartbeat. Buoy that with you and Chris and Jimmy and Tello and Joanne and maybe a couple of other people coming back. And then, bam, we've got the majority again at the legislature. I think a Republican legislature working with the Democrat Mike Sinicolas would probably be more productive than anything we've seen in the last 4 years.
You're probably right, okay? And I tell you, if Mike's announcement or pronouncement, moves them now to open up and to have more fruitful discussions and make better decisions, then it's a win-win. Then it's a win for Guam, okay? And in the meantime, we're gonna continue to fight tooth and nail to continue to try to help individuals. I'm not going to stop in my efforts to first off identify. And to bring to light that there are people that are still suffering that are out there, are we going to make this a platform? It's probably a platform in itself already.
I agree.
Okay, but at the end of the day, it's okay. So what has been done? What has been done? You can talk all you want, but what has been done?
Exactly.
That's what I'm working on.
826. This is one of those things where it feels like there is a harmony of interest, and you know how I am trying to highlight those things. And I will continue to highlight your efforts at the legislature or wherever you are, to find people that are of need, where there are resources now finally to take care of them. They just seem to be being ignored. 827. Frank, I appreciate you calling back. You have a fantastic rest of the Friday.
You too, and hi, Mona. I know you're still there.
She's lurking.
Hi, Senator.
Okay. She's lurking.
I'm not lurking. I'm on Facebook.
I don't. Sometimes I don't look at her when we're talking because she likes to roll her eyes.
No.
But No, but you mostly at me.
I'm not
Mostly.
rolling my eyes.
827. I'll get a kiss to Tilly. I'll see you later, bro. 888-8255. We get who's calling in later on? Maria Pangilinan?
Yes, sir.
Did you find my Uncle Robert yet?
He's tied up today.
What?
Yeah.
Is
He's
he
very tied up
is
today.
he still subbing for Patty?
Yeah, I was gonna
Where's my Uncle Robert? What I was going to ask him about? What are we going to do about Agania Heights?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. Every once in a while, you go, okay, is it as crazy as it is? And the answer is yes. So everybody is on this, this tear to rename everything and take advantage of punctuation marks and glotas that we know are there because we say them that way when we're being perfecto. But now we need to formalize all of this. And then you get to we've got Hagotnya. And then you've got the people of Agania Heights who are saying, get out of here. Get out. Leave us alone. You want to call us Tatua? No, we don't. That's just a little tiny part of the village. It's not the whole thing.
Heights.
No, they absolutely against that. They just want to be left. They just want to be left alone.
Hagotnya, man. What's wrong with
Agania Heights.
Can we just? How about the Leave Me Alone party? Can we get one
Swamp
of those?
Road.
What's that?
Change Swamp Road.
What was it called before that? I don't know. Is it Chalani Swamp? That's what it was back in the old days. 8:28 in the morning. All right, 888-8255-888-TA. Okay, got this on the screen. I had to put it up. Just a gorgeous sunrise. And for some people, wow, there is still golf going on. Can you imagine? There's golf and these guys out there and seeing. That's the payoff, by the way. That's the reward for waking up early and having an avocation like golf is getting out there. It's a day out in the sunshine with your best buddies, chasing a ball with a stick and drinking beer all day, and saying things to each other. You feel like Donald Trump in a locker room,
Yeah,
it's the only place you can get away with that.
And there's girls too.
But he's like, you're so sexist, baby. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? I know girl golfers, and they talk nastier than guys do. They absolutely do. And there's girls golfers listening, going, "Oh God, he's right.
Shout out to you, girl."
Yeah. I hear the conversations. I know what you guys are talking about. Anyway, so you got a picture there, and then my buddy Bill, that one, my honey Kolsch guy. That sounded wrong. Sent me a picture here. Sunset in Manila.
Oh, wow.
Sunset in
They're
Manila.
open for business.
No, they're not.
Oh, Lord.
No,
I
they're
saw
not.
a Philippine airline landing this morning.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can go back and forth. I mean, if you're a Filipino national, there's you can. I mean, there's no reason why you can't.
Imagine. I was like,
Yeah,
I
there's
haven't seen that.
somebody's got to shuttle all that stuff from Chanel's mom's store to Guam, the Krispy Kremes and things like that. But there's a story in today's Guam Daily Post about. Excuse me, I'm really trying to swallow a burp, and I don't know why. There's a story from Bloomberg about the Philippines has become the worst place to be with COVID-19. Bloomberg does this. The Philippines fell to last place in their COVID-19 resilience ranking of the best and worst places to be amid the pandemic. Now, I thought the worst place to be is in Australia. I watched a video of the Australian police arrest a guy. There's like 6 dudes that were kneeling one way or the other on this guy. What was his crime? Walking his dog without a mask. He was outside with his dog. This is the one time that he could leave the house to go and get some kind of exercise. For some reason, he had taken the mask off, but he had 2 masks on him. But they still arrested him. And this was not a just kind of put your hands behind your back. He was on the ground by the time the video started rolling on this. Now, I get it. I mean, I'm enough of a news guy. Was it possible that he was lipping off to the cops? Is it possible he was coming through with some kind of attitude like that girl that kicked the cop, Taya, what's her name?
Yeah.
Curly hair, nice.
Tracy Chapman.
Stacey Chapman. Could there have been that going on? Yeah. Did they take it the wrong way? Possible, but you got that. So the Philippines, though, according to Bloomberg, the worst place on COVID-19 containment, which is one of the criteria they have. Philippines underperforms while its cases per capita over the past month are a fifth of what vaccine frontrunner Israel has seen. The Philippines has the second worst positive test rate in the ranking at 27%, only better than Mexico. The metric indicates indicates the government is only testing the sickest of patients and that there is a likely high level of undetected infection in the community. At the end of the article, it reads, even as 1 in every 4 tests turns out positive, tracing and testing remains slow in the Philippines as local officials are in charge, not the nation. Hospitals are understaffed, low on beds, forcing patients to line up for services. Although borders are closed and most foreigners, migrants, can return, they are straining quarantine facilities down there. Lingering lockdowns to quell the persistently high infections push the Philippines economy back into contraction in the second quarter from the previous 3 months. The last time I was there, December of 2019, January of 2020, I watched the decade turn from a place called Late Night in Manila, and it was beautiful at BGC. It was a terrific night. The economy was booming. They were building things out there, and everybody had good jobs for the most part, and you know, real positive sense of where the nation was going to be going in the next couple of years. And then COVID/Duterte hit, and they've it's hell in a handbasket. The only good thing is it's still, at the end of the day, Manila, and this is what Manila looked like at the end of yesterday. It's 8:33 in the morning. Montecito Tyron with our last look at big news and headlines. That's coming up next.
When making the new Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich, people asked how I felt about burger places selling fried chicken. I'd say that's none of my business, just like making fried chicken is none of theirs. The new Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich with mayo, pickles, and a quarter-pound filet as far as the eye can see. Get comfy, it's gonna be a while.
The new Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich is back for good, along with the new all-white meat KFC chicken sandwiches, Zinger, Super Deluxe, and Grilled Doublicious. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You know all those amazing photos and videos saved on your camera roll capturing your love for Guam? We want to see it. Log on to visitguam.com/Instaguam to submit your best moments for a chance to win weekly prizes. The Guam Visitors Bureau will choose a weekly winner, so share your love for our island paradise now and win. Brought to you by GVB. Thank you for making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Guam Auto Spot has the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $127 per paycheck, 0 down. Call 671-478-AUTO to take a test drive or get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com.
I'm voting. Just saying, you guys, hey guys, I'm voting. Oh, it's too many
you're
choices.
voting for the Pika?
Yeah, the Pika thing is on.
Oh, yeah.
Best band, best bar. Where are we? Best bartender, best dinner show, best DJ. Okay, that's Daryl Lozama. Daryl gets a vote. Oh, I got to register? Okay, register to vote. Go to, it's in, I've got a link for it. It's guampdn.com/contest. Go there and then go, I guess, register if you haven't already. And I had to scroll to the bottom of the screen on the deal to where it says go ahead and vote. At any rate, so go and find the point and vote on that. And then tomorrow come back and vote on that. If you've got some spare votes, then definitely put some votes towards Boss 104 and Star 101. Daryl Lozama under Best DJ, and we've got all kinds of advertisers, including Burger King. And Burger King is a contestant in a number of different categories. So if you love us and you love our advertisers that keep us on the air, likewise, would you please vote for them? It's 8:36 in the morning. Montecito Town, you about ready for that last look at news and headlines right about now? All right, off the motto. What happened?
Well, if you're waiting for a tax refund, check the mail. There's $5 million that went out from the Department of Administration. Revenue Tax says that they processed 2,096 returns, and it covers those who filed their returns by June 7th of this year. Meanwhile, there was another COVID-related fatality. This one, the 197th, a 76-year-old man said to be fully vaccinated but had underlying health conditions. There's also 144 new cases that were reported in today's Joint Information Center. And there's some relief for the Guam Memorial Hospital, which has been stressed with the number of COVID admissions that continue to rise. The Army Reserve sent 15 nurses who will be working in critical patient care in the ICU and emergency room. They'll be here until the end of October. And those are your headlines right here on The Point.
That's all? They're only going to be here that time? Is
30 days.
Is that when COVID's going to end? In 30 days after these guys go back? Or are they going to bring some more? Are they going to bring some more in?
They might extend it because remember our emergency ends on the 29th.
Yay. For real?
Yeah.
For real?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it'll end just before Halloween. Perfect. All right, God. That's great because right around there is when we go back into the celebration of big birthdays in the family. Once it gets to be the end of October,
there's a big
we start
birthday
looking
coming
at
up this month, too.
At November.
October 15th.
Who's that?
Bring back the sunshine.
Oh, former Governor Carl
Yeah.
Because I know the 20th.
We should plan something.
The 20th is Mason's birthday.
Yeah.
And then it gets to be, that's right. And then it gets to be into November. And we've got the birthdays in November. There's only two that I really need to worry about. One is Mana's and the other is my daughter's birthday within a few days of each other. So I'm looking for.
Yeah, she was supposed to be born on my day.
Scorpios?
Talk to Shay.
Oh,
Talk to
boy.
Shay. Talk to Shay. You know how he is. If there's a contraction, let's go. Is it like one baby contraction? He says, I've already got the operating book. Let's go. We'll meet you at 3 o'clock at the hospital. And by 4:30, Miami was out. Bang. Then just like that. There could have been a little bit more. Let's go. She's not gonna get. It's not like we're gonna go Guero while she's stuck on the inside. You know what I mean? 8:38 in the morning. Ray Gibson Show. All right. I gotta get serious. There's.
Yeah, I'm out of here then.
Oh, really? Is that the deal?
It's Friday. I don't want to be serious.
Yeah, but it's the perfect.
Okay, go ahead.
No, see now I don't want to do it because now everybody's gonna go. Oh my God, Ray, they're dead. Those people died.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm
So
the people voting for us on Pika?
No, not the people voting for us on Pika. What do you think this is? The Democrats? No, but I am gonna tell the story. This is a touching story, and it's the first one that I've seen of its kind in COVID-19. Actually, there might even be a Guam connection with this couple. People magazine reporting about a couple named Cal and Linda Dunham were together until the very end when they lost their lives with COVID-19. The Grand Rapids husband and wife, who both had undisclosed pre-existing conditions, had been vaccinated for months when they fell ill during a family camping trip earlier in the month, according to the daughter, Sarah. My dad called me before our family camping trip, said he wasn't feeling good, but he thinks it's maybe some sinus issues, and caught it, and she's like, he gave me his cold. Sarah told the outlet the third day they woke up and said, we've got to go because we don't feel well. Days later, both Cal and Linda were on ventilators at the hospital. Sunday, the pair died within 1 minute of each other. They gained their angel wings 1 minute apart from each other. Cal passing at 11:07 and Linda at 11:08. In an even deeper testament to their love, and this is the real awe part, the couple died holding hands. They were hospitalized side by side, and they died holding their hands in their respective hospital beds. There's a GoFundMe. If you'd like information, just look out under Cal and Linda Dunham, and you can find, I think, a link to that on the story in People magazine, among other of the stories that we've got here.
What was the Guam connection?
There's one of the protest groups that, and I don't know, there's like 5 of them now that I get into these days. There's a lot of duplication, and somebody was writing in last night about how they're really that much more, kind of touched by COVID-19, the response to COVID-19 and things like that, because they apparently knew, the person knew this couple. So there might be a Guam connection between Cal and Linda Dunham. I don't know them well enough to impose to do interviews. I'm not that kind of guy. But I think it's an interesting story. And as I said, reaches out and touches you, pull a little bit on the heartstrings. Husband and wife married for a long time, and according to the daughter, did everything right. They got themselves vaccinated. They were watching out where they were going, social distancing, masks, and all that, but still managed to succumb to the disease, or with the disease. It says that they had pre-existing conditions. And if you will, I'll riff on that in a couple of minutes. It's 8:41. I'll be right back.
There's so much that's new with the Eat Fresh, Refresh at Subway restaurants that we can't possibly fit it all into one radio spot, but I'm gonna try. There are amazing new toppings like hickory smoked bacon, bacon and smashed avocado. Try your favorite sub on the new breads like the hearty multigrain wheat or the artisan Italian white bread. Not to mention Subway's thicker, juicier steak. That's all I have time for. You gotta refresh to be fresh. Only at Subway.
Choosing health insurance for my family is difficult. I need to know our health insurance will protect us now and in the future. Take Care members have access to the island's largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs, and a high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers, including the convenient one-stop FHP Health Center and urgent care. My family choose Take Care. Your family should also consider choosing Take Care. Call 671-647-3526 for more information. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
Olive Garden. Multiple platters, multiple ways to enjoy and take you into a fantastic weekend when you go there. Don't bother cooking. Don't bother ruining your weekend and your Friday by cooking. Let the folks over at Olive Garden do that. They've got this incredible takeaway platter. Lots of different flavors that you're going to be getting with that. An incredible value. Hold on a second. There it is. Breadsticks and house salad. We've got your choice, fried mozzarella or spinach artichoke dip. And then we get into the platters that you can take on the takeaway. Lasagna Classico. Lasagna. Oh, my God, lasagna with fruit bat. Can you imagine how well they could make that, Real Joe? Chicken Parmesan, 5-cheese ziti, chicken and shrimp carbonara. And you're going, whoa, shrimp. Can they do better? Shrimp and bacon rigatoni. Bang. Level up. Why don't you? And there's chicken Alfredo and plenty more. Olive Garden, 989-0008. It's 8:43, Ray Gibson Show, and Maria Pangolina from the all-new and improved Guam Election Commission coming up here in just a second. We'll spend some time with her, but I do want to make a point about moral continuity, if you will, and consistency. I've been critical of journalists and people in the media here on Guam from underscoring it seemingly at every chance that they have when there is a death with COVID-19, pointing out that the victim might have been unvaccinated. Like they almost deserve it. He was unvaccinated. And it's amazing he didn't die sooner. It's amazing he made it all the way to the hospital considering he was unvaccinated. And I hate that. I don't like it. I think it cheapens the weight of the event, and it's a pretty weighty event when somebody passes away. Does it make all that much difference? I know that there's people that want to know. Well, how about we do it in a summary? We have almost 200 people that have died, and among them, X number have been unvaccinated. Or you want to make it even clear, we've had this many people that have died, and this many that have died since the vaccines that were available, and they died unvaccinated. But we don't have to do this, I think, on a daily and individual basis. It's ghoulish. Now, you might be going, but wait a second, Ray. What about the when they die and they are vaccinated? Don't you also try to underscore that? Like, see, I told you. Some will. And if I've made that sound, I'll apologize for my moral inconsistency. From here on out, I'll make it clear. I think the thing that we need to concentrate on is so-and-so. There has been a fatality, and regardless of their vaccination status, I think what we have to be clear on is that whether the person died with underlying conditions or not. I think that's the most important thing. And for that, I can suggest that I've been morally consistent on. We look at that kind of thing. We want to make, and the point being is that I don't believe this is a pandemic of the vaccinated or the unvaccinated. I think this is a pandemic of these underlying comorbidities, which, as I've said 100 times, are largely avoidable in this town. And I know it's hard for some people. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the scale going, I wish I could get rid of these 20 pounds. And I don't know how to do it other than try to eat like Ken Leon Guerrero. My God, there's a sign of desperation. I'm trying to pattern my diet, my diet and exercise program after a guy's 15 years older than I am. But he's looking great. Is a point that we'll get around to doing. So maybe we can do something along those lines, right, Real Joe? Just stop when somebody dies, whether they were vaccinated or not should not be a part of the headline.
Yeah.
Whether they had comorbidities or not, I think is more important to underscore the importance of a healthy lifestyle and diet. And when it comes to diet, just a point, Michelob Ultra's only got 2 grams of carbs in it. It's 8:46 in the morning. Is that my Maria?
Our favorite.
Yes. I don't ever want there to be another direct. Huffa Maria Pangolina, and I don't ever want there to be another director at the director of the Guam Election Commission. Can you just do it forever?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll try to stay healthy, sir.
I can hear the sound of an office that doesn't have everything moved into it yet.
Well, you know, I'm not on island, actually.
Oh, that's why there's an
The
echo. Okay,
Guam
it's in the wire.
Yeah, so the Guam Election Commission staff have been doing an excellent job in moving and shaking. So the Guam Election Commission is now open at 241 Fahrenheit Avenue, second floor of the Oka building. The telephone is working.
Mm-hmm.
The email is working. But our website has yet to be put back up online.
Oh, did that move too? Well, no, I'm just saying, is the website's in the internet. That's up in the cloud somewhere. That didn't move.
Ray Gibson, the lines had to be moved, so the lines are now being connected.
Oh, your internet.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
all right, all of that stuff. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So just maybe, because you can give the address, but more people will remember it as being the Club Men's Power. And I want to say there, wasn't Shay's Clinic in there once upon a time? Yeah, right? Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Shea,
Yes.
Dr. Shea, Dr. Lizama, Dr. Garrido.
Yeah. Everybody knows the spot. Well, you're in a good place, and I'm glad because it means that you are much closer to us. Have you heard anything from Mike St. Nicholas's people? Have they been calling, jabbering, bugging you guys at the office about how early they can get their paperwork in?
Not at all, Ray Gibson. What we do want our voters to know, or actually our elected officials to know, is that October 19th is the due date for financial disclosure statements if they had requested for an extension.
Okay, that's among the current round of senators, right? The politicians that have been elected?
Yes, and the public officials.
Well, I'd love to ask the question, but since you're traveling, I don't know that you'd have the answer. Who's outstanding? Who hasn't turned in their paperwork just yet?
They're still within the law.
Okay.
They were granted extensions, so we don't have that list. Most people have turned theirs in already. Some have been calling us during the week, last week and this week as well.
Okay. Well, it would make an interesting story after the 19th one to find out who just kind of skipped out on the whole thing. Yeah, but I guarantee here, and I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say it like I'm standing on top of some kind of pillar or a rock or something like that, because I would be one of the guys. Maria, is it really tomorrow? Hey, Maria, can you help me with the paperwork? It's so hard. Help me fill it in.
Oh, yeah, and we do, and we will help.
Oh, really?
So it's okay. Yes, we do.
I had no idea. Okay, well, I don't know. That might change things for everybody. Well, I've been doing the countdown based on the website that was up the last time I was there. I'm able to see a countdown that you guys actually have, I believe, on the website now that is counting down the number of days between now and the next primary election.
That's correct. I don't have the number, but I believe it's August 27th.
330. It's 330 days from today. If we're counting down to election day, 330. And you might be going, well, that sounds like an awful lot of days, but in political time, it's not. With all of the paperwork that you've got to get started on, and especially the financial stuff and lines that you got to stand in for clearances and things like that, 330 days is going to evaporate like you wouldn't believe. So start pondering if you are thinking about running for office, and maybe you are thinking about doing some kind of voter initiative or some kind of I don't know, a resolution that we could throw on the ballot.
Well, if someone's interested, they can come into our office and talk about it. In the meantime, we're doing voter registration. We just finished with National Voter Registration Day, and so our numbers should go up a little higher. But we are doing voter registration at the office, 8 to 5. Monday through Friday.
Can you tell everybody when they register, they have to go vote too? Because there's so many people that get registered because they think it's like gets them a discount at Ross or something, and then they don't bother showing up when it's time to go vote.
Or Ray Gibson, you can give them gifts. You can do a competition on the air and let them know, if you come with your I voted sticker, I will give you this.
Huh. That might be worth talking about doing one of these days. 8:51. Hey, listen, I hate bugging you most of the time, and I sure hate bugging you when you're out of town. When are you coming home?
I'm not sure yet, but hopefully before end of month.
The end of the month is tomorrow for you. Is today for you? You mean October?
Maybe at least a couple more weeks.
All right. Well, we'll keep that in mind. Who's running the store while you're gone?
Oh, acting director is Elizabeth Santos and doing a fantastic job. Thank you.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Next time we need something from the GEC, we'll start with Elizabeth Santos first. And if we can't get a hold of her, or if I don't like her answers, then we'll find you. No, good luck. We love you. I'll talk to you soon. Maria Pangolin, that's my luck. She's my cousin. We'll talk again soon. Safe journey. And if there's videos of you doing the cha-cha slide, you send them to me first, all right?
All right.
That's it. That's my girl. 888-8255-888-TAELK. It's 8:52 in the morning. Hi, Ray here at the radio station doing whatever it is that I don't know. I suppose whatever it suits me here. Closing in on 9 o'clock in the morning. And the question Mark asking is if they're still giving $10,000 for COVID bereavement and what's the total up to. That sounds like a Crystal Paco San Augustine question. I know it's $10,000 ahead, and I think the latest number here this morning brings us to what is it, 197 of the folks. Wow, it's not on the front page of the Daily Post here today. That's unusual. There, it's on page. They've waited to page 4 to get to it. It's 197 death vaccinated. See. So if you're in the unvaccinated army, you go, see, I told you. You can still get vaccinated and die from COVID-19. But it was an individual had underlying health conditions. More important than the vaccination status in my mind, and fight with me all you want on this one, is what are the underlying conditions that folks are dying from. Obviously, diabetes issues, heart-related issues. Anybody with diminished lung capacity are going to be targets. There's certain people in certain age groups that are also targets for COVID-19. Those are some of the underlying comorbidities that people are dying from. And I think more so, and it's hard to convince anybody in the public health and the governor's office to move in that direction. But we need a better census, if you will, of what it is. Didn't Crystal say she was going to? Or not Chanel didn't she say she was going to look that up for me? Or was it in a dream? She's in my dreams all the time. All the time. It's just anyway. 8:54 in the morning. I think that is probably the most important thing that we could find right now by way of encouraging people. Get the vaccine if you want to get the vaccine. Get it if it fits. I'm not that anti-vax. I just don't need it right now. For those of you that are wondering, I also don't feel like being bullied anymore by the governor's office and by Joe Biden on whether I'm a vaccinated or unvaccinated individual. The other freedom of choice that I make is every once in a while I'll pick up the dumbbells and the kettlebells in the house, and sometimes I'll go out there and try to get to that magical 5-minute plank. You know what the problem with the 5-minute plank is? What? Who's got that kind of time? No. Who's got that really? I said, what are you going to do? Plank for 5 minutes. Nothing on TV? No reading that you wanted to do? Any of that stuff. And it's hard to do anything else when you're planking. No, yeah. Right? Because you're just you're in pure survival mode. After about 60 seconds, you're in pure survival mode. It's not like you got time. Oh, let me just scroll through Twitter and see what people are saying while you're doing the deal.
Yeah, that's when you start shaking.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
Yes.
I thought there was somebody.
I tried it, man.
I thought a cop just walked in or something like that. You were just. So, all right. So the shaking is actually a good. It's actually a good thing. When it's actually happening, those are the muscles in your body. Oh. They're working overtime trying to maintain that position that you're in, and so the muscles, the fat that you can't see is actually being worked out from that exercise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But like I said, after a while, I was looking for songs that I could play that would keep me motivated through the 5-minute plank, and even there you just go, oh my God, we're not to the middle of the song yet. Oh my God, when are we going even get to the middle of the song yet. I got this thing counting down. I got this one of these Tabata timers counting down, going, come on. Anyway, 8:56 in the morning. So my point is, though, there's lots of different ways that you can do this. You don't have to die of COVID-19, and most people aren't dying anywhere near COVID-19. They're dying because of something else that they had before the COVID bug got into their body. Don't be that person. As I said, if you've got to work through a couple of things with your doctors, go and work things out with your doctor. Get in a good diet and exercise program, whether it's a Ken LG program or a Troy Torres exercise program. Just not mine, but get something started, even if it's just walking. Even if it's just walking. A lot of people do this. But when you're walking, a piece of advice here, don't stroll. You got to put some energy into it. There's a guy that you might see, always wears, he's got these knee-high socks, and he's got a hat, and it's usually tucked up with a cord on it so the hat doesn't blow away in the wind. You might see, definitely in Tumon Bay, but you'll also see him doing this on Marine Corps Drive. Yeah, and he's fast walking. He's got his hands up here, and he's wiggling his butt, fast walking.
Boogie.
It might not look like the sexiest thing in the world, but talk to the guy. Find out how old he is. Find out just how healthy this guy is. This guy, I tell you what, he is fast walking faster than some people are jogging out there. And like I said, it might look kind of goofy, but it will work miracles for you. And it's walking. Who don't know how to walk? Huh? Anyway, closing in on 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll look and see what they're yakking about on the Fox News Live and what they're wetting the bed on in Washington, D.C. These days, it has a lot to do with the spending authority for the United States of America, debt limits and things like that. I honestly have not been paying any attention to it because it just looks like it's another fertile breeding ground for yet more histrionics and drama coming out of Washington, D.C. Is anybody that I know going to be impacted by any of the decisions that they make in D.C.? Probably not at first. Probably not at first. I think the people that are going to be most impacted, and the decision was made already, is businesses, and there are some here on Guam where they've got more than 100 people, and they've got a federal ticket. They're doing work with the federal government of the United States, which in my mind means that they might have to be vaccinated. And I don't know, can't recall because I haven't looked at it in a little bit, what the testing options are. Which means for some unvaccinated people working in these companies, they may either face termination or they may have to resign. Can I ask you to do me a favor? Any of these guys that have resigned their commissions or forced to take some kind of long unpaid administrative leave from these companies, if they knock on your door and ask for a job, I know there are going to be some businesses that say, "Oh, you're unvaccinated, get the hell out of here." But there might be some companies, some shops that you can knock on a door and go and say, "You know what? I appreciate you standing on your rock. I appreciate you standing on your commitment to your own scruples. You're exactly the kind of man, you're exactly the kind of woman that I'd like in my organization. We're not even going to bother with the application. You can name your own salary. Come on. You a company car? You want you business cards? No problem. Come on in here, bud. 9 o'clock in the morning, the radio station's KUSG. I got you 93.3. This is The Point, Fox News Live.
The lights stay on. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. With just hours to go before a partial government shutdown would have been triggered, the House followed the Senate in passing a short-term spending bill to keep the government running through early December.
Not only keep government open, keep checks flowing to our veterans and Social Security recipients and the rest, but it's about, again, whether it's science at the National Institutes of Health, the education of our children, the protection of our environment.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi, but it passed after a section that would have suspended the debt limit was taken out. But Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warns that needs to be addressed in the coming weeks or the U.S. risks defaulting on its loans. It could be a late night in the House as Speaker Pelosi works to get enough support for the bipartisan infrastructure bill to pass. Some progressives are saying they will vote no unless President Biden's much larger plan is approved. Life in prison for a man convicted of killing 2 people at a synagogue near San Diego 2.5 years years ago.
After prosecutors agreed not to seek the death penalty, 22-year-old John Ernest pleaded guilty to murder and attempted murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison on Thursday. Before he was, though, he had to hear from multiple victims, including the husband of Lori Gilbert Kay, who was murdered, as well as one of the men who chased him out of the building after the shooting.
One wonders how someone your age acquired so much hate for Jews.
In a manifesto, Ernest had said he was motivated in part by the shooting at a synagogue in Pennsylvania, as well as the New Zealand mosque shootings. 2 weeks ago, Ernest pleaded guilty to federal hate crime charges relating to the shooting, as well as arson at a mosque in Escondido. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
North Korea claims it's fired an anti-aircraft missile in the 4th round of weapons launches this month. America is listening to Fox News.
Hafude, konnichiwa,
Patois. Ciao. Enter for a chance to win the 76 Circle K World Cuisine Giveaway. Be one of 3 lucky winners to win a passport of free food from around the world at over 15 different local restaurants. Just stop by any 76 Circle K, purchase $35 or more in fuel to get an entry form. Drive by today and taste the world with 76 Circle K's World Cuisine Giveaway. Visit 76circlekguam.com for more details. Some conditions apply. Circle K, take it easy.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they'll continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer staycation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,900 by calling Family Finance. Agana 475-4545, Upper Tumon at 647-5626, or in Dededo at 633-4473. Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959.
A suspected Nazi who eluded authorities for 70 years goes on the run but is captured hours before her trial.
Hours before, Irmgard Faulkner was due to go on trial this morning for working at a Nazi concentration camp in World War II. The 96-year-old disappeared. The court, hearing her case, said she'd gone on the run and an arrest warrant was issued. But the escape didn't last long. Faulkner was captured by police this afternoon. She's accused in connection with more than 11,000 murders through her work as a typist for a Nazi commander. In London, Simon Owen, Fox News.
United Airlines says the number of its employees facing termination for refusing to get COVID vaccines has dropped by half to 320 as more workers provide proof of vaccination. United Airlines announced last month it would require its 67,000 employees to get vaccinated, calling it an important safety measure. This, as a new poll, looks at where Americans stand on President Biden's vaccine mandate.
There's a deep split along party lines over President Biden's COVID vaccine requirements for workers. According to an Associated Press NORC poll, Democrats are overwhelmingly for it, while most Republicans are against the plan under which most workers either get vaccinated or regularly tested for COVID. Overall, 51% approve of the requirement, 3/4 of them Democrats, only a quarter Republican, 34% disapprove, roughly 6 in 10 Republicans, 14% hold neither opinion. Among the vaccinated, 64% say they approve. Only 14% of unvaccinated respondents were in favor. Details of how the mandate will work are still being hammered out. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
The Powerball jackpot is now at an estimated $620 million, the 10th largest U.S. lottery prize ahead of Saturday's drawing. There have been 39 drawings in a row without a winner. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
Fall in love with your new home this season by shopping Furniture Cathy Style's unbelievable deals. We've brought in new items and restocked on our best sellers to help you get your home ready for the holiday. We offer free design consultation and financing with up to 12 months of zero interest for you to get what you want and what you need for your home today. Follow us on social media, visit our website at FurnitureCathyStyle.com, or call us at 300-9590 for more information. If you're not buying from us, you're paying too much.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
As
we get back to business, Docomo Pacific is ready to keep you connected. Introducing Business Bundles Plus. Build a customized bundle with the right internet, mobile, TV, and phone plan for your business. Pay for exactly what you need and nothing you don't. And the more services you add, the more you save. Plus, you can rely on Docomo Pacific's fastest, most reliable network and 24/7 customer support. So build your own bundle and save today with Business Bundles Plus. Call 671-688-2677. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Okay. Hey, no pushing. Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by 11's. They're right behind us, by the way. And you're going, yeah, but where the hell are you? Okay, sorry about that. We are directly across from DPW. And so there's a U-turn that you can make that brings you into where the iConnect building is. So in between the iConnect building, the big building, and us is a building behind us. Rosie Rouge used to be back there, and then they moved down the street. And taking Ashley haircut with them. But I'm delighted because it was replaced with a really fantastic coffee shop. It's called 11's. They've got wonderful coffees, obviously, and teas, cold drinks and things like that, warm drinks and sandwiches and pastries. Lots of people have made the discovery and kept it to themselves. We know who you are, but more and more people are making that discovery and telling the world. And if you'd like to tell the world under coffee shops, etc., go to Kika and give them a vote, would you? 7 after 9. Be right back.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
So I was going to do a commercial there for Nissan, and then one of those pieces of beetle nut that Colin Clark gave me, just bam, right there in the part, somewhere between where I breathe and where I swallow. And, it's one of a handful of very sensitive places. Anybody that's ever had the long PCR test for COVID-19 knows where the other one is.
Yeah.
But that's the other spot. And I was like, okay, I'm going to cough my way through a Nissan ad, and Brian won't pay for it. So let me do a Nissan ad that they will pay for. It's the Pathfinder. Right? Cut a new path, cut a new trail in your life with the all-new Pathfinder, made new for 2022 over at Nissan Guam. And unlike the Frontier, unlike the new Z car that is coming out, they're already on the lot. And they've got a bunch of different styles that you can choose from to meet whatever your requirements are. A lot of people, you're going, okay, I need something because I got a trophy wife. And I need something for the trophy wife to drive, right? And they've got one of those over there. And then they got one, dude, I just, I spend a lot of time out there. I work outside. I play outside. Do we have one of these Pathfinders that, just point A, point B, luxury, safety, and comfort? And the answer is, yeah, they do. Check it out today. You're going to love the prices that you are going to find on your all-new 2022 Pathfinders. There we got the 284 horses, towing capacity of about 6,000 pounds, and all kinds of cool entertainment technology on the inside as well. Ask about a test drive with the one that has got more Bose speakers than a phone number has digits, right? I mean, just incredible. Check it out today at Nissan Guam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you are. That's you, Ray.
Oh, I don't have, I was thrown to something, right?
Yeah, man.
Got you.
There you go.
Surprise. After 3 years of doing this show, you'd think I'd be better at doing it, picking up on some of the format. The really crazy thing is I wrote the format for this show. But that's for guys like you to keep track of. For me, it's a question of just trying to ponder where the entertainment, where the thoughts are going to come. It is going to kill an hour of talk radio. What I like to refer to as the small talk portion of the program. So don't screw it up by calling me with any issues. Because I know there's somebody who's like, oh, man, I just woke up. Wonder if Ray wants to talk about that thing over at GW. No. It's okay. You might be going, you know what? Maybe Ray wants to talk about the guy picking his nose on the Zoom video. That I do want to talk about. When are we going to get out of the habit of doing that? And the reason why I say so is I don't like the Zoom thing. Oddly, considering that this could be considered kind of Zoom mechanism, right? I've got a computer, it's got cameras on it, and we go back and forth, and I can play different things. I can put memes up on the screen. I can put this picture up on the screen, whatever. So I'm kind of doing a Zoomy kind of thing here on the program. But I don't know. I was in on a couple of those things and have done a few of them in the past for business purposes because I'm lazy, right? And number one, I work all the way through the morning, and by about noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I really shouldn't be conducting business anymore, right? Because by that time, I'm shot. It's a long day for me, right? And so I'll go home and grab a nap, and everybody says, "Oh yeah, but the client wants to meet with you." They say it can be a Zoom meeting about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that, you know what that means?
Yeah.
I'm on the couch. I've got to wear a shirt. I've got to have my hair's got to be combed, dude. At 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm bahakied out. So this guy Tovez in the video that was digging for nose gold, as far as I'm concerned, he's just a victim of way too much Zoom that's been going on. And I think now he's going to be a victim of COVID-19 in a way that was never ever pre-discussed. We never had the foreshadowing that there was going to be a time where we'd have to watch our P's and Q's and stop digging for stuff on camera. Excuse me, it's a Zoom meeting. Do you have any clothes on? Not below the waist. Not that you can tell.
I'm not a cat.
Yeah, I'm not a cat. And what was the name of that guy in the States that got in trouble? He was working for one of the news networks and forgot the camera was on him, and he said he wasn't digging for nose gold. He was going for a different kind of gold, if you know what I mean. 12 after the hour, 888-8255. You might be wondering where this picture comes from. It's from that story I was telling you about where they're touting Guam as a great tropical destination and a bunch of things that you absolutely must do when you eat here on Guam. One of them, and I can't disagree, one of them is, take in some of the great sunrises. This is sunset over by I'm going to venture a guess and say with a great deal of confidence, this is not from Jimmy D's. This is over at Santa Fe.
Okay, yeah. It's not far though, Ray.
I know. It's as the crow flies. No, it's not. But can I wax poetic here about how much I miss Santa Fe? There was a time, less complicated, I think. Wasn't COVID for sure, and there wasn't any bullying going on, and I'd go and I'd get my running clothes, and I'd park over at Santa Fe. And I'd, go 4 or 5 miles, something like that, come back all sweaty. And I always timed it so that I came back just before sunset. And I'd go down to the bar over at Santa Fe, give the lady $20 or not.
Yeah.
They'd let me hang on a tab every once in a while. But give them $20, and here she comes with a whole bunch of Heineken lights. And I just sit there, got my headphones on, watching the sunset, watching some of the people coming back and forth, the Koreans and the Japanese and the people that were staying in the hotel. Really, really was a fantastic experience. And when I wasn't wearing my headphones, we've got Don't Blame It on the Cha-Cha-Cha, Dave Evans and Dennis, with their guitars.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect moment.
And they're gone. And it's gone. That's the thing. You remember in the end of Titanic, the lady, I'm sorry, I don't want to give away the ship sinks, but at the end of Titanic, she drops the jewel into the ocean, right?
Yeah.
And never to be seen, never to be heard from again. I feel that's the way our lives were before now. I don't know that we're ever going to be able to get back to that. I don't know. I mean, that whole Santa Fe experience, that might be gone forever. Will that ever return to being the hotel? Will it return to being a dinner place? Will be able to return to a nice little kind of cool Wednesday, Thursday, Friday bar to hang out at, right? That's where my head's at. All of these things, like memories, like before. I used to listen to my grandparents talk about Guam. Man, before the war. Are we going to be the generation where we're going to say before COVID? We used to be able to do this, that, and the other. I hope there's a better payoff on the other side of that. 888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number. Cousin Troy's on the line. Hey, cousin, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad at all. Hey, there's a story. I didn't bother to read it in the Guam Daily Post because I figured I'd get a better version of it from you if I just asked. But in the Guam Daily Post, they've got that CNMI section, and they're talking about our other favorite governor, and where is it? Yeah, and all of the trips that he was able to go on, all of the great. Yeah, the CNMI House panel looks into the governor's 85 boating trips.
Yeah, so it's not. I mean, the 85 boating trips, yes, that's scandalous on its own, but it's the details within those 85 boating trips that become scandalous, like these boat log entries, and so they've been bringing in the Department of Public Safety personnel who run those boats, and if it's called the Recreational Boating Safety Program, and it's 100% federally funded.
Mm-hmm.
The boats, the personnel, and the fuel used, and any of the supplies and equipment, I believe from Department of Transportation, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, there were all of these trips that they take, that the governor takes, and they bring in these personnel, these officers, to testify at these corruption hearings.
Yeah.
And they've gotten these officers to state for the record that, yes, when the governor goes out on a fishing trip, and he's had many fishing trips that he's taken, they call it trolling in the logbook, they go to escort him and provide personal security detail. And they say that the governor and his brothers take their personal boats, and the federally funded boats go as basically as ocean security guards to protect them from.
Oh, what a bunch of crockataki!
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not just trolling trips. In the logbooks that the committee discovered, there's an entry for a something birthday bash, a love boat cruise that the first lady was on without the governor, the trip to Managaha for sunset cruises, several trips to Pagan. They refuel, according to these logbooks and according to the testimony of these guys, the boating safety protocol is to take fuel on board with them to refuel mid-ocean. And there was one entry where they refueled both the government vessel and the governor's brother's vessel.
Oh.
The corruption just sees no end with these guys.
Oh, it's just absolutely taking advantage of everything. It's the government is there to serve Ralph and not the other way around.
Yes, and yes.
It's exactly the way it is. It's exactly what's happening. He's using the government for whatever purpose. He's using the government credit cards for his own to buy him stuff, and using whatever monies are available that he's absconding or changing the description of what the funds are being used for, so that he doesn't have to pay any power and water bills. This is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Like I've never.
So here's you could have gotten him just on testimony from the lieutenant governor of the CNMI. And so how much longer is this going to go? How much more do they need to uncover before they go, okay, we've got enough here? Where's the judge?
Well, they have to bring him in first. Yeah. Well, at least give him the opportunity, right? And so in order to do that, they have to get through the details of all these allegations from all these other people to establish foundations so that they can ask him, here is the evidence, here is what this person connected to the evidence said about this. What do you have to say for yourself, basically, and give him that opportunity. But I'm almost 100% certain this is heading toward his impeachment from office.
Well, like I said, I think there's sufficient testimony to support at least the Inquisition, but I think there's sufficient testimony and evidence to support a criminal case.
Well, to be sure, right? But see how their system works in Saipan is there are actually two kinds of prosecutors. One would be the chief prosecutor with their attorney general's office, and yes, they have an elected attorney general, but he's been accused of playing golf most of the time. And they also have a public auditor. Their public auditor, unlike ours, can take matters to court. Can public officials or to bring cases against public officials. It's just that Ralph Torres appoints the public auditor. And so, and then the question is, where's the FBI? But then, the FBI takes its time to make its cases, right? There's that. But the other thing,
they've been sitting on stuff there in cases up in the NMI since before COVID. Troy, you've done more investigation on what's going on in the CNMI than I think the FBI and federal authorities have.
Well, no, I don't want to say that. Just, all of this came about because the FBI and the U.S. attorney, they did those raids.
I remember. I remember it, but then that was before COVID. This almost 2 years ago. I tell you what, 2 years. You let me sit on a case for 2 years, and as the defendant, I'll spend all my 2 years. Number one, it doesn't look like he's afraid that anybody's coming after him, and for the most part, has been able to hide behind executive orders and COVID-19 public health emergencies and things like that. You don't necessarily want to take the guy out in the middle of the time where he would be best responsive to the needs of the CNMI, but it looks like he's kind of taking advantage of all of that stuff as well. That's amazing. 921. Hey, did I hear a story about Will Castro going to work with him?
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I know you heard it because I was there when the source said it to you. Have you heard anything else on it?
Yeah, I heard that. I'm not surprised. I would if I were Will's friend still, I would advise him not to take that job.
Yeah, this is a short-term gig here, Brad. 9:21 in the morning. Cousin Troy on the line. Candid News, of course, and always staying on top of things. And I was annoyed when I saw the headline on Candid yesterday. Even more annoyed after reading the actual magistrate report on the guy that took a baseball bat to virtually everybody in the house,
including he didn't take a baseball bat, baby, but he hit a baby, his own infant, on the head.
Yeah. Smacked this guy. Now I don't know whether that was intentional because it could have been, but this guy just goes on a tear in the house, goes after a couple of people with an aluminum baseball bat, and then when that wasn't working, he actually hit one of them. He hit one of the guys, and then the guy, they lost conscious, and in order to wake him up so he could hit him again, he hit him with in the leg. To jar them back into consciousness so he could hit him again with the baseball bat. And when that got boring for him, he picked up a machete and apparently sliced somebody open with a machete, and then went after his girlfriend.
Yep, it was his two brothers. The two guys were his two brothers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. And now here's the other thing, and this is where we get into issues here on Guam that we really got to put some attention on and some fire on. This guy was known to the police officers here on Guam. They've known who this guy is. He's got all of the cases that they've lined up against him for just Wednesday. On top of that, violation of a court order as a misdemeanor, and apparently,
I believe he has two
priors
that have not yet been adjudicated, either that or that he's on parole for, but I think they're not even adjudicated. He's just on pretrial release, if I'm not mistaken. For violent crime.
What are we doing? It's October. October on Guam is traditionally Domestic Violence Month, and what a great headline to go into it with, and a reminder to many people in the judicial system and the criminal justice system. It is my opinion that not enough is being done to help the victims of domestic violence here on Guam. I think in many cases you don't see it. In the cases that you do see it, where these women have taken the time and have found the courage to be able to reach out to departments and agencies and the police department, et cetera, and say, I need help. This guy is going to kill me, and nothing can get done. There's a step that is missing, and we've talked about this on the air. It's like the guy has to say these words in this order before anybody will take the woman seriously. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, and there's also the issue of pretrial release. And I don't know if the legislature needs to change the law or if this is a constitutional issue, but the fact that, a woman calls or a child calls or whatever to report domestic violence, scared for their lives, the police come, they make the arrest, send them to jail, they spend a couple nights there, and then they're released by the magistrate judge.
Yep.
Or bail is set at such a low amount that, they can make it. And they're out. And, we saw that situation happen years ago with the murder of Christina Nicholas by her father. And time and time again, the system failed. She was eventually 12 years old by the time she was murdered, but over a number of years from the time she was a little girl, she herself making phone calls to the police. There was even if I'm not mistaken, a sexual assault conviction, and she was returned to the same home. And her father, when he was released on pretrial release, just completely missed that he would be staying in the same home as the victim, his own daughter. and then eventually she was murdered at the Longsit River. I mean,
how does that happen? Are cracks that wide that we get whole people that slip through in the manner that they do? Wasn't that long ago? It was a guy that was doing time for jail and in jail for domestic abuse, and he got out, was able to convince the people on the parole board or whatever, but he was let out and went home and I want to say that the first thing he did was beat up his girlfriend.
There's the other crack in the system. It's the parole board. The parole board over at least during the Michelle Tyson years when she was the chairwoman, there was all of this forgiveness, so to speak, for violent criminals, while non-violent criminals were being told that they were, and these are actual, these are taken from actual proceedings of the parole board where they made it more of like the Church of God or something like that, where they were telling parolees that or applicants for parole who were not violent criminals that they just didn't seem like they were godly enough for release. But the hardcore guys, the wife beaters, the girlfriend beaters, the kids that abuse their kids. They say the right words in the right order. Again, I think everybody knows what words to say and what order to say them so that they can get out. Like I said, I know from a couple of cases that there are women that are scared for their lives or in the very least would just like to stop being harassed. And unless you are able to tell the police officer or whoever it is at whatever advocacy group there is out there that he's threatened to kill you, they won't do anything. 24 years ago, 2 days ago, September 29th, Therese Crisostomo and her daughter Erica Aquino were murdered by Therese Crisostomo's husband and Erica's father. And you would think that was that, and that was
hence the name Erica's House.
Our whole community, and you would think that 24 years ago would have been the starting point of some, meaningful reform. But to this day, you're right. There are women and children out there who are scared for their lives because the justice system just can't get it right.
Or they're in a shadow zone and they can't be picked up by the system. We got to figure out how to get that closed for all of these women and all these kids that are just scared to hell that their dad's going to come home in a bad mood or drunk or high or all of the above and take it out on the family. We're seeing that happen. We're seeing teenage kids getting beat by their parents. It is a tough time around here, and more has to be done other than candlelight vigils and that kind of thing. It's nice, but it ain't solving any of the problems that we got around here. 9:28 in the morning, and you and I didn't have really a chance to talk about it, but one of our mutual friends was kind of running the flag up the pole. Maybe he wants to be governor of Guam, Mike Nicholas, over into Congress. What do you think?
It's sounding more and more like he is going to run. Especially since he said that he is seriously considering it.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't too long ago where it sounded like he wasn't going to run, and I think he even when we would ask him, he would say things like I'm just not thinking about that at all. I'm just doing the work, right?
Right.
So there just didn't seem to be much interest, and then you started hearing him talk about the governor's use of federal money, and then it was like, Shane. Sounds like he's pretty upset with the governor. And then he was talking about it more. And he even started to say things when he would be on our show and your show about how something would need to be done.
Where's the plan, lady? What are you sitting on $300 million for? The need is in the community right now. They let the PUA run out because they knew that we had $500 million sitting in a bank account.
But what I'm curious about is who is he thinking of as his running mate? Is it like I don't think it'll be a politician if he chooses someone.
You know who what I'd like to see? I'll give you two scenarios. I don't know which one is likelier than the other. And I don't want to get him in trouble because he's not on island to defend himself. But I'd sure love to see Mike Nicholas and Carl T.C. Gutierrez.
I just got a picture that he sent me this morning of him and the Palau president and First Lady. And First Lady
right on. Wouldn't that be something? I mean, just the couple of guys that, and there are a growing number of people, Republicans, that didn't care very much for Carl Gutierrez when he was the governor of Guam. But after all of this time has passed, and after a couple of years of this administration going, yeah, bring him back. Bring that guy. He knows how to get stuff. Did you see me just correct myself? He knows how to get stuff done around here. And Mike St. Nicholas knows where we can find some dough and has made some friends in Washington, D.C., and probably friends in D.C. that Carl already knew. The other one here that I think would make for an interesting running mate, and I think also capable of doing more than just Island Beautification Task Force. I'd like to see Therese Terlahi in a position where she's got some good ammunition and some good weapons to shoot with. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And this morning I was talking to someone about the differences between the Commonwealth Legislature and the Guam Legislature, and one of the things I said was in a text was our Guam Legislature is filled with a bunch of panties, except Therese Terlahi.
Well, I'd say Therese. I would say Teresa and Tello and Joanne for sure are not the panty wearers at that place. I don't know that I could say the same thing for many of the other members of the 36 Guam legislature. Panty squad.
Saying something nice about Joanne and Tello, but
Well, the fact of the matter is that's where the backbone is. There's a serious amount of backbone there. There's a lot of people that have got backbone only because they've got some political cover behind it. But it just seems to me that especially the two that I mentioned they know from where their inner strength comes from, whether you like it or not. 9:32 though. Mike St. Nicholas as governor of Guam. Even Chris Barnett on Twitter the other day. And I might have mentioned this to you when we spoke. Even Chris Barnett said he could win this, and you know how Chris feels about Mike.
Chris has tweeted that before. That even though he doesn't like Mike St. Nicholas, that if he mounted a challenge against Lulian Guerrero, that he'd win. I think it was. I can't remember the context actually. It was probably about someone else wanting to be governor who he thought didn't stand a chance. I think that was the context.
Well, okay. Well, but that take it from the perspective of St. Nicholas critics, and I got Peter Santos is on my Facebook Live all the time. He's always been critical of Mike St. Nicholas, and some say even Sahara Defensor would come out as a critic of Mike St. Nicholas, having worked for him for a couple of years. What that's based on, I don't really know, but it would be interesting to find out. And other former employees of Mike St. Nicholas who have come out and been critical. Does it say more about Mike St. Nicholas when somebody like Chris says that Mike can do it? What does that say? Does it say more about Mike, or what does it say about the administration? Is the administration that weak? Has anybody done a poll to find out to what degree we are satisfied with the current guidance that we get out of Adelup?
Yeah, that's why I think Mike St. Nicholas would likely win, is because he's got two things going for him. I mean, it's probably going to piss off my friends in the administration, right? But he's got two things going for him. One is the factor, the referendum factor. That there are going to be a bunch of people who don't like the governor, and the second is just how popular he is, no matter who his opponent is.
Oh. Okay. Well, let me roll that around in my head for a little bit. Maybe you're right. Maybe obviously there is a little bit of referendum to all of this, but the parallel that is running in my head is what Mike St. Nicholas is saying in your show, my show, wherever he shows up in the media. It runs parallel to complaints that we have heard from the Republican minority over at the legislature, which should reflect the concerns of the Republicans that live and work and do business here on Guam. My point is that there is a significant harmony so far of interests. And I think that makes for a wonderful platform. Now when Lou came in, she got a lot of Republican support because there was not a lot of support for your friend Ray Tenorio.
Yeah, I love that so much.
and you know, there were places where literally shot himself in the foot politically in exactly the wrong place in the campaign, and was never ever able to recover from all of that. And so you get all these Republicans going around, and Francie Santos and Tom Adda and Lulian Guerrero all of a sudden got this brain fart and said, "Oh my God, let's start talking like Republicans." And I know a lot of Republicans that said, "Well, she's starting to sound like us. I'm going to vote for her." And the goalposts moved after that, didn't they, boys? But in this case, we know already that Mike is a fiscal conservative and probably already has a whole lot of support from among the Republicans that GOP. I don't mean just Republicans, but the actual Republican committee that has been working with him behind the scenes on many things.
You know, I mean, I think it says a lot that Republican former Senator Bob Kuski has nice things to say about Mike Nicholas all the time. I think that says a lot.
Very telling.
About Republican support.
You had mentioned at the beginning of this phone call that we were talking about gaps, issues, and holes that the people are slipping through, and one of them might be the Guam Parole Board. Here at 8 o'clock on Friday next, Lena McDaniel is going to be going through her appointment hearing with the legislature to serve for 4 years as a member of the Guam Parole Board. I know Lena. And we know the family that she's from, and I think she'd be the kind that is strong enough to be able to sit and listen to somebody lie and say, nope, no parole for you.
You know, I wonder who else is on that parole board still.
Make a great episode of Candid.
They had some stupid ones before, like real idiots on that parole board before.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're still there.
Politics. It's a tough spot to be in, and even worse if you don't have the backbone and the guts. I'm saying that as coming from somebody whose family had been in the parole board business for a while. 9:36, cousin Troy, you can have a good weekend.
Yeah, I didn't know that anyone in your family was on the parole board.
Granddaddy. Daddy was on the board.
Okay. That's a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, old enough to remember him talking about some of those things and some of the rather rough decisions that you have to make when you're on the parole board. People coming to you saying, "I'm clean. I've done my time." You got to have the wisdom of the angels and the saints to be able to figure out whether somebody's lying to you or whether, as the case may be, sometimes here on Guam, we just go, I think you've paid your price. Go ahead, boy, go out there." And then they go home, and then these guys start beating up on their girlfriends again. 9:37, and just for your information, your phone is in your hand.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. We follow each other. See, Cuz Troy, we follow each other on social media from time to time, all the time. And he had posted, and I've had this situation before as well, where I'm walking around the house going, "Oh God, I got to go to work. I got to go to work. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? And realize, oh my God, it's been in my hand the entire time.
It happens.
Yeah, I need to turn on the flashlight of my phone to look under the bed to see if my phone is there. There's something wrong with us, man. There's something wrong. 938, 888-8255, 888-TALK. How's it going, world? You doing all right? Frenchie's on the line. We'll get to Frenchie probably on the other side of these messages.
Leah Dunca from Security Title here with a little information about trusts. A trust is a legal entity capable of owning property. It can protect property from issues such as lawsuits or divorce and can be used to distribute property and avoid probate. Many trusts start as revocable but become irrevocable when the initial trustees die. Work with your estate planning attorney to see if a trust is a good fit for your family property. Call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Wow, nice smile. So perfect and all.
Thanks. I owe it all to Dr. Robert Yang and his smile team. They do wonders for a healthy, happy mouth.
Got teeth? Don't wait until they hurt. Schedule your routine checkup and cleaning with Dr. Yang and his smile team. Suite 119 in the East West Business Center, Upper Tumon. Call 647-8702 or 3.
The best thing that happened to teeth since toothpaste.
Dr. Yang and his smile team.
They make smiles happen.
I still can't find it. Hold on. I'm looking. I wish they'd just put a thing, right? You could just go right to it here and get to the part where I want to vote. Where did they put us? What category are we in on the Pika thing? Do you know?
Radio.
Well, I know, but that's under they have it under different sections. So best DJ, best dinner show, whatever, that falls under entertainment and leisure. And I can't remember where they put us. Air conditioning, insurance. And I know some of you are going, well, you should have bought an ad. That way you could just look for your logo, but I'm too cheap to do any of that stuff. It's, well, I'll find it in a day or so. And find the actual link to the actual thing so you can go and vote for me. 9:40 in the morning? Portions of the program brought to you by the guys over at Longhorn. Guam's favorite new steak place. Please stop stealing the knives, right? That's just contribute to higher prices. Leave them there. If you like to use the knife, just go back there every day and eat the food. Trust me, I've seen the menu. There's something that you can enjoy every day without duplication. Flo's filet on Monday. Tuesday, swing by for chop steak. Ribeye on Wednesday. New York strip Thursdays. Renegade sirloin on Friday. Or, wait, skip that one. Prime rib Fridays. That's the way you want to live your life. And then you spend the rest of the weekend on a fire-grilled T-bone. Oh, my God. I'd go in there for lunch and just sit there and be full for the rest of the day. And you can do that. You want more information, swing by their Facebook presence, Longhorn Steakhouse Guam, or swing by the actual restaurant. They open at 11 o'clock this morning.
Guam Auto Spot has the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $127 per paycheck. 0 down. Call 671-478-AUTO to take a test drive or get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com.
Tick, tick, tick. Tick, 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 tick. 9:41. Hi. Hey there. Ray Gibson Show, Friday morning. We're in the 9 o'clock hour. No frowny face Fridays. And generally the small talk portion of the program. And to the degree that, hanging out with your cousin, that could be a little bit of small talk on the radio, then I'm glad. It's always a delight when I get to spend any time at all. And here, especially when we're on the same page on certain issues that we've got around here. And domestic violence is a major issue here on Guam. There might be, and I always wonder, you see these girls out there in the social media and all this other stuff. And you just wonder how many of them might be going through some kind of internal battle at their homes with their boyfriends. Looking good out there and hanging out and having a good time with their girlfriends because this is the only time that they've got to get away from that monster that they live with. And they're just, in fear of what's going to happen when they get home. And that happens a whole lot more. I used to know a girl that slept in a different house. She had different friends. And she slept in a different house every night because this guy was just always stalking her and making trouble at work. And if he found out which house she was staying at, he'd go bang on the door around there. And you just wonder, how do people live their lives like that? And why don't we have better systems around here that would protect them from things like that? And that's why when the girl asked me, Ray, where can I find a gun? I said, meet me over at Bargain Tactical. Oh, are you going to help me buy a gun? No, I'm going to introduce you to a guy that's going to help you buy a gun. And I'm going to introduce you to a guy that is going to take you to a gun safety class and a class basically that will teach you how to use that pistol or the long rifle to protect yourself. And I think there needs to be more of that going on. 9:43 in the morning, although I have to say at the same time, there are statistics that back up a point. If you have a gun in the house, make sure that you get to it first. Because in many cases, because of the availability of the gun in the house, you might be the unintended victim of the actual shooting. 9:43 anyway. Frenchie's on the line. Good morning, Frenchie. How you doing?
Good morning, Ray. How are you?
Okay, now you've asked me the question before. I'll give it to you like this. Again, I'm always somewhere in between annoyed and amused. I'm a little bit more on the annoyed side here today because there's another story in the media talking about how glum the future of Guam is going to be. The numbers for hospitality industry vacillating somewhere between 85,000 for the entire year.
Yeah,
85,000, maybe 200,000 over the course of the entire year, and I don't know how the businesses and the hotels and the restaurants and the bars are going to be able to hold on long enough to see the first big batches of the airport business, the kind that we had before, and hospitality business, the kind that we had before.
Yeah, well, and that's only one side of the coin. The other side is even worse, and it's, of course, the rising cost of doing business everywhere. And Troy actually did a very good piece the other day on Senator Hirono writing to Pete Buttigieg, or whatever you call it,
Buttigieg, yeah,
at transportation, to try to get American president line privilege pulled out. And we haven't heard anything from this administration on how they're going to go give our side of the story as far as.
Oh, forget it. You're not going to. Maisie and the administration are thick as thieves. I did an interview with Maisie, and I mischaracterized that. I said it was Lulian Guerrero was there. It wasn't Lou. Maisie was brought in by at the time Congressman Madeline Z. Berdallo, and at the time I don't know that Maisie was doing more than shilling for what was going to be the potential Clinton administration.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe Lou should send the lieutenant governor and have a gay summit.
But no, the point you make a good point though. Where is the defense going to come for if Maisie Hirono is carrying the water for who is Maisie will there be any defense of this, knowing that the prices are going to go up if we go back to being a one carrier town?
That would be a catastrophe. It would compound the problems that we already have, because not only won't we have any customers, but on top of it, anything we bring on the island would be hugely more expensive than it is now. So
competition is good.
I complimented Troy on that story. It was a very good story, and I brought it forward on Tall Tales, and nobody had heard of it because the media is totally silent on this thing. And this is an existential threat for the economy of Guam.
I don't know, and it's been a long time since I've actually looked up the definition of existential, because it changes. Like the definition of immunity and vaccine has changed. What is there's a couple other words. Hero. The definition of hero has changed, and certainly the definition of emergency has changed and evolved over the last 18 or 19 months. So I got to double check on what the existential threat is. No, I think it's a direct threat. I think it's a direct threat. I think the things that keep costs high for Guam, i.e. the Jones Act, are beyond existential threats. I think it's worth taking another look at and seeing if there's a way from. Got to get Alaska and Hawaii on the same page.
He could be a very good battle horse for the delegate to say, "Hey, look, I'm countering Senator Hirono there. I'm going to contact the Department of Transportation and tell them our side of the story." But then I wouldn't be surprised if the old delegate, the liquid dinosaur there, what's her name, Berdallo, she was not helping Hirono in the back. We are in a weird world. The other good story that Troy did was on Chief Ignacio report on that story about the GPD destroying personal properties during a warrant search back in March, and again the media is not covering it, and it's a potential Jeep throat all over again, like the real Joe told us with that fantastic demonstration, the Jeep throat scandal. Now we have destruction, and it's all on tape because the cops didn't realize when they destroyed the surveillance system that it was still being fed on the cloud.
Cloud computing. I love cloud computing. I use that to my advantages as best as possible.
It shows you how stupid they are, that they don't understand those things. But then there is a huge cover-up from the Attorney General. Again, Chief Ignacio doesn't know his tail from his nose, and apparently one of the reasons, and Troy uncovered this, was that one of the main culprits in that story is actually part of the detail of the governor.
Yes.
And that's a scandal in itself, and nobody is covering it. And
it might come up in conversation with Jimmy Craig Moylan over at the legislature. He's been bird dogging a case against the governor for her magnified budget for executive security, and unfortunately, it comes out of the law enforcement, and we need more people on squad cars on the streets. Not necessarily guys shooting up people's houses and destroying evidence, but there's a number of very, very good cops that are out there that just need more resources. And unfortunately, if we're sending those resources to go keep after the governor, especially when they go on trips with him, geez, I never understood that. Why do we need to send security details to go follow it? Nobody knows what our governor looks like out. She gets to Hawaii and everybody go, "Who's that? Who's that lady?"
In a crowd, nobody would see her anyway. She's too short, So.
Oh, now. Let's not get personal here. It's all right to be critical of her, what the.
Her height, yeah. Let's say she's a height challenge. But Michael San Nicolas, if he decides to really run, he could also bring the fact that the Bank of Guam value has doubled since the beginning of the pandemic, and that actually Lou is worth twice as much. On a personal basis, she was already the richest person on the island, and now she's worth twice as much as she was before the pandemic. And it's very interesting that the article that was showing that in the Post has been deleted from their website. So I don't know what's going on there. Definitely, she might be not liking the fact that the story came out. And now I
suppose maybe somebody from marketing called up and said, hey.
Yeah. Maybe they were BOG was going to take all their advertising away or something. I have no idea. But this is also, she is very vulnerable on many levels. Despite what Pete says, Pete told tales to do is the night before the story about Michael trying to run, he came with his typical character assassination about ethics committee and everything. And, he keeps dropping ethics committee. Everybody in the House is under ethics inspection, because as soon as somebody puts a complaint, there is an ethics committee thing. Then it's already been vacated twice, and now since Lou went to DC, suddenly the ethics committee has taken the story all over again.
Oh, well, of course. Of course, and so we're going to see ugly high level politics here, and it will be fun to watch. 330 days from today, when the real feathers are going to fly, I don't know, Frenchie, but it'll be entertaining when it does. There's a story this morning, and hell, it might have been you that sent it to me. Zero Hedge on the web with a story written by Tyler Durden. If CNN starts sounding the economic collapse blog, what does that mean? Unfortunately, the truth about what is in our immediate future is becoming apparent to everybody. Global supply chains, Frenchie, are in a state of complete and utter chaos. This is driving up prices.
Let me tell you, my better half is a vice president for Best Buy for supplies. And tell you, they've been having nightmare for the last 6 months. And now it's getting worse because the ships cannot even unload.
That's right.
And actually a bunch of truckers are now threatening to do what they're doing in Italy and Germany right now, which is a strike on transportation because the president wants to force them to get vaccinated.
It's like going after the construction workers in Australia, and these guys showed up by the hundreds, not necessarily over at their parliament, not necessarily over at the seat of their local governments. They went to the union shop, and we're throwing bottles and bricks at the union shop, going, "You guys are supposed to protect us, and if you ain't doing it, then we're going to march ourselves." I still don't know what the upshot of that was, whether there was a delay in the implementation of those policies. More to the story I was reading, there are over 60 container ships full of import cargo stuck offshore at the Port of Los Angeles and at Long Beach. There are more than double that, 154 waiting to load export cargo off Shanghai and Ningbo in China. The number of container ships... Go ahead.
Same thing in Oakland and in Seattle.
Same thing on the other coast. They're seeing the same kind of slowdowns and shutdowns on the other side, and there's just not enough throughput. The bandwidth of these ports are being tested. Frankly, if I was the president of the United States and I wanted to avert something, don't send the guard people over to go and work in the hospitals. Keep the unvaccinated nurses and doctors working as much as you can. You send out the military, and we're going to figure out how to build land bridges so that we can unload these 60 container ships and get these containers back to China so that we can fill them with more goods to bring them back. There needs to be a big America-wide strategic, high level, bigger than the boardroom thinking that goes on to solve this particular problem.
Well, look, every day you're looking at the price of crude, right? And you're telling us, well, this is how high it went. Now, let's not forget, before January 20th, we were energy independent as far as gas and oil. And Trump had succeeded in driving the price of oil so low that the Saudis had to come in begging and the Russians were crying. And what do we have 9 months later, after Mr. Bidet did all his executive orders and shut out our oil industry, and now we are going back to the Arabs to buy it? Well, the price shot up the roof, and that was to be expected, right? Because there is no more competition, and we are not the only one that want to buy oil and gas. You know, the Europeans, the Chinese, the Japanese. So the price is going to do what it's going to do. When there is more demand than there is offer, the price go up. And it comes up on top of that inflation. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know.
Well, ridiculous is the price of gas if you can get it. Remember what they're just now, they say, getting to the end of here is a transportation crisis in Britain because they didn't have anybody to drive the gas in the trucks to the gas station, so they couldn't maintain the supply of everything that was going on out there. These are interesting and upside down times, and you know me, Fred, I'm not one of the guys that'll say I'm the smartest guy in the room, but I tell you what, there are a lot smarter guys in a lot more rooms, and nobody's asking them to help solve these problems. I just feel like we've got an amateur squad leading this entire country.
You're old enough, even though you're a lot younger than I am, but you're old enough to remember the Carter eras when you had miles and miles of waiting line to go and gas your car.
Yep. Which is
this generation has forgotten what it was. It was dire straits in those days. People couldn't get their cars.
I'm annoyed that I have to relive the Carter administration, and unfortunately, this is the Carter administration on steroids. We and our children are in trouble unless something has got to happen. Something's got to give. It's 9:57. Frenchie, I'll talk to you soon. Listen to you with Tall Tales. I will.
Have some cold brews to my house.
There will be multiple brews that are going to get maybe in the course of in minutes. Could be minutes away. 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll talk to you later. Wow. What? I woke up at 4, bro. Don't judge. I'll judge you right back. What do you say?
Yeah.
Subway?
Yes.
They've refreshed over at Subway. Crispy bacon. You put whatever you want to. You can get something that's already got bacon in it and add more. Or they've got this rugged avocado spread that they can put on things now. So good. And a couple of different breads that you want to try. I'm a BMT on 9-grain honey oat. No more honey oat, but they do have a new multi-grain, which is absolutely terrific. It is a superior replacement. Try that. Refresh your favorite sandwich over at Subway today. 9:58. You want to take care of these, and I'll be right back.
Great news, Guam! Chili's 2 for Dining is back. Enjoy a full-on meal deal made for 2 for just $35. Start with 2 Coca-Cola beverages, an appetizer to share, and 2 mouth-watering entrees like the sizzling personal fajitas, the mouth-watering honey chipotle steak and shrimp, or Chili's world-famous fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Available for a limited time. Dine in today or call 648-7377 to place to-go orders. Chili's is located on the 2nd floor of Tumon Sands Plaza. Chili's. Savor the moment.
Over the past 5 years, confidential data and network breaches have doubled for small and large businesses, resulting in huge financial loss. At GTA, Our multi-threat security bundle is a cost-effective solution monitored by our team of experts, ready to detect known malware and stop new evolving cyber threats before entering your network.
Protect your business with confidence and call 671-644-1000 or visit gta.net/enterprise. GTA, we start with you.
Apparently, the body cavity search line, the optional body cavity search line at Navy, it's getting long. There's a lot of people volunteering for that on the way in. It's Operation Citadel, Raymond. I think it was Operation Citadel. Why couldn't they come up with a bigger, fancier, more scary name? Oh, what's wrong with exercise, kill, death? Let's do that. Can we do exercise, Mata Almalanya? Let's. Come on, you guys. Stop wimping out on me over there. Look, I got to go. It's 10. Fox News Live's already playing. This Ray Gibson show for Real Joe Montecillo Tyrant. Ray Gibson saying, have a great weekend. Again, if you see me out after midnight or on the beach after midnight, take me home. Here's the news.
$1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure agreement.
We're on a path to win the vote. I don't want to even consider any options other than that.
Dozens of progressives, led by Washington Democrat Pramila Jayapal, are threatening to defect without assurances a larger reconciliation package costing upwards of $3 trillion also wins approval.
Going beyond trust to verify is about, unfortunately, some senators.
Key to those reconciliation talks is West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin, who reiterated today he will not go above $1.5 trillion on a reconciliation bill. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A federal appeals court has ruled that the Biden administration can continue expelling migrant families caught crossing the southern border under a COVID pandemic order while a lawsuit challenging the policy proceeds. A Senate panel firing questions at Facebook executives over its internal research on how Instagram can harm teenagers.
Facebook publicly denies that Instagram